It's the Orioles on Masson as interleague play continues here in Baltimore. The Cincinnati Reds on their first visit ever to Camden Yards with a chance to take the series. The Orioles looking to win this rubber match on this Sunday afternoon. It has been quite a series for these two teams. It's been all about offense, and the starters, oh, have they struggled, cranking their neck, turning around, and watching the ball leave the yard. We'll see what happens today. No reason to believe, really, that that's going to change. Another warm day here at Camden Yards. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. Things have changed for the Orioles this year. On the left side of the infield, though, what a major improvement it has been offensively and defensively as well with Hardy and Reynolds. J.J. Hardy is having a magnificent year. He has homered in 8 straight series now, 10 home runs this year, third among Major League Baseball shortstops. And has he ever fielded the position? Next to him is Mark Reynolds. Reynolds now on top in walks, second in RBIs in the ball club, and he is tied with Adam Jones for the lead in home runs. He's got 13. Look at the improvement to this date for this year compared to last year. The home run numbers way up, the RBIs up, the average up, the OPS with that slugging number way up, and the runs produced over double the number from last year at the same time. And Hardy, of course, has played only 47 of the 74 games this year. Jim Palmer, if there was a deal right now in Major League Baseball that matters, the signing of those guys and getting them here mattered.
Yeah, I think Andy McPhail, the president of baseball operation, the handwriting's on the wall. 4 of the 5 best offensive teams last year in the American League were in the American League East. So how are you going to match up with them? You better get some thunder. And I think the surprising thing, now we know Mark Reynolds has made probably more errors obviously than he would like, but J.J. Hardy, I mean, you look at his numbers, 24, 26 home runs when he was healthy with Milwaukee, but I am surprised how good a defensive shortstop he is. He has taken a lot of runs away from the opposition.
He has been outstanding. Now for the Orioles, it's about getting that starting pitching back in shape. Jeremy Guthrie's going to try and do that today.
Yeah, the last guy that went 7 innings was Jake Arrieta, so here you go. He has not been able to get into the 7th inning. Home runs, hadn't given any up in his last 3 starts, but at the end of the day, they just have to play well as a team. Maybe he can get that 3rd one. He's won 1 in April. He's won 1 in May, and he hopes to win a game here in June.
It has been 6 without 1 as he's had 3 losses, 3 no decisions in his last 6 starts. Rubber match coming up. Glad to have you with us here on this Sunday afternoon. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Hyundai, it's time to join the movement. A summer afternoon here at Camden Yards. Take a look at our train game time temperature. We'll start this ball game at 84. Very light breeze, humidity at 39%. It is a comfortable afternoon if warm. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. For Dusty Baker's Cincinnati Reds, here's the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Heisey, Phillips, and Votto. Gomes, Lewis gets a start. Stubbs, Hernandez back. Cairo, first game he's played in. And Yanish at short. Votto yesterday, a big booming day.
And our scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie. Well, mental madness. You're 2-9. You don't deserve it, but that's your record. On the ground, a fly ball pitcher. 9 home runs hit here last night. Ball was flying. Home run derby. And then roll the dice. You know, you might as well just do your part. You know, everybody, there's an old adage in baseball, better to be lucky than good. Maybe that's what it's going to take for Jeremy Guthrie. Go out there, try to get into the 6th, 7th inning and hope that your team supports you, plays well in concert, both getting you runs and defensively.
And for Guthrie, it will be his first outing against the Cincinnati Reds. And Dusty Baker's ball club unloaded with 5 home runs in the ball game last night. Gomes started it out. Votto picked up a couple in it. Stubbs would add one later on. I mean, it really was home run derby. And a season high 5 homers in the ball game in the first game in the majors this year, where both teams had 4 or more home runs in the same game. Chris Heisey, the leadoff batter. He's gone 2 for 10 in the series. He's going after the first pitch, and that will end up third base side. Reynolds can't find it, but it's going to be in the seats anyway. There's a big-time glare today, some high clouds. Players with the glasses on out there, but even with that, there'll be a problem on some of these balls in the air.
Yeah, and that's why you really have to help each other out. Again, I always thought it was a great time to pitch because it is glary for the hitter. They got to try to time your 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
Guthrie will miss
right
outside.
Yeah. Of course,
well, for Jeremy, boy, it's been a long time between wins here, looking for that third one. They have not come easy for Guthrie. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way to Heisey, and that'll be fouled off.
Yeah, his last start in Pittsburgh, a lot of strikes coming off the tight back. Only 5 innings up in Toronto. Pitched very well, had to leave the game. Just did not have, it wasn't about the velocity. It was really pretty much about the late finish on his stuff. So should be a lot healthier this afternoon. And when he is, he can be tough to put a lot of runs on the board against.
1-2 to short. Hardy's there, and he's done it.
Take a look about the defense behind Jeremy Guthrie. Scott Jones, Markakis, the Oriole outfield. Reynolds, Hardy, Blake Davis, extra base hit on Friday night. Derek Lee can really pick it over at first. And then Craig Tatum, Orioles backup catcher, behind the plate to start this afternoon's game.
And here's Brandon Phillips, the all-star second baseman in Gold Glover. He's got a 5-game hit streak coming in, and he's had a big series. He's 5 for 11 with 3 RBIs in this offensive-filled series. Good off-speed delivery down and away. Phillips all the way across the plate on that one, and a 1-strike count. That's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, that's what you want. I mean, you want a hitter. You don't throw too many curveballs. Jeremy has incorporated it along with changing speeds on that slider over the last 5-6 starts. But you want a guy to chase your 3rd or 4th pitch and put it in play. But he swung through it. It was so good.
0-1 delivery is going to be outside. It is official now, as the Nationals have announced. Davey Johnson is the new manager. He'll be joining the club tomorrow. He has signed a 3-year deal. It is a consulting contract, however, which means he is guaranteed 3 years with the ball club after this season. 1-1 delivery is fouled off, and according to the press release put out today, it says he's agreed to a 3-year consulting contract that will have him remain with the Nationals after this season and allow him to participate in the hiring of his successor.
And if things go well, there may not be a successor.
Exactly.
Which is what he was doing anyway as a consultant.
And the delivery is pumped to right field, Markakis, and that's going to fall in. Boy, Phillips is hot. That's a 6-game hit streak for him. And the base stealer is on with 1 away.
Well, he's an all-star second baseman, 2-time Gold Glover. I mean, high on-base percentage. Again, this fastball ends up in the middle of the plate. if it's down and in, probably a ground ball. But again, the approach you talked about is why he's now 6 for 12 in this series.
And here's Joey Votto as he picked up the dual home runs in the ball game yesterday. He has now moved into 9th place in RBIs in the National League, and he is 4th in average. He has driven in 6 runs in the first 2 games of this series, upping his average to .320 and 49 runs batted in. Votto will take the pitch inside, runner at first, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. So the bat of Votto that the Orioles hoped would remain a bit off, as it had been in the first part of this month, has not been off in this series. 1-ball, 1-strike delivery on the way, and that'll be again throttled back on 1-2.
Yeah, there are the numbers, and again, this is why the MVP numbers last year, the MVP in the National League, and anything 96, and it's on the inside corner. Came into this series 2 for 17. And again, only 2 extra base hits all the way back to June 12th. That certainly ended on Friday night, and then again last night with career high 5 RBIs along with the 2 home runs.
Short lead at first base, and the 1-2 delivery to him is outside. With the 2 home runs he had off Brian Mattis, it's the 3rd time that Votto has had 2 homers against the same pitcher in a ball game. He did it against David Huff in 09, and he hit 2 against Zach Greinke in a ball game yesterday, and Brian Mattis the recipient of the 2 home runs Votto hit in the ball game yesterday. Here's the 2-2 delivery down to first and foul.
Yeah, another good slider in on his fist. I think the scary thing, and Dusty Baker, who manages the Reds, was alluding to it. He said it's very much like our ballpark when we come here, is that the ability to hit the ball straight away and not have it just go over the walls, but go way over the walls.
The home runs hit here yesterday would have been out in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, how about the line drive that Adam Jones hit on Friday night? Looked like it was going to be a double, and I mean, never got higher, much higher than the wall, and just went over it.
There goes Phillips, and the ball will be ripped into the seats. A foul ball. So Brandon Phillips taking off. This is a ball club, of course, that is running this year, and you see Phillips on the base paths, 100+ home runs plus 125 steals since 2006 in Major League Baseball, a select group of which he is second in with Kemp and Rollins and company, and he has really extended the lead. He was kind of just watching Guthrie for the first 3 pitches, standing 1 step off the bag. Now he's extended it by a step and a half, and Guthrie knows that. Runner not going, and you see what happened right there? Guthrie jumped to get out of the way on his follow through in case the runner was going.
Yeah, you don't run on Jeremy very much, and again, you have to speed up your delivery, and again, I think maybe anticipating that he'd be running. But again, only 5 attempts, 2 out of 5 successful against Jeremy Guthrie, an ordinarily low number.
There he goes, but it's ball 4. So Guthrie surrenders the walk, and there are runners on at first and second for Johnny Gomes.
Well, that was all about last night. That and the MVP plaque he has at home, because you didn't want to give in to him. And of course, the problem with Johnny Gomes is with one swing, and he's going to go up to home plate with one thing in mind. I don't care if I strike out. I'm going to try to hit the ball as hard as I can, massage it somewhere where nobody can catch it.
Got his 10th home run in the ball game yesterday. He has a 3-game hit streak, and he has hit against Guthrie 3 for 7 with a homer. Phillips moved back to the bag. Davis at second base will move in on him to keep him as close as possible. We've seen them attempt the double steal once in this series already, and with Brandon Phillips as the lead runner, you do have to worry about it. Pitch is going to be taken away by Gomes. Gomes 2 for 7 in the series. He's had a home run and that lone RBI against the Orioles.
Gary, he's one of those guys you want coming to the plate if, and it's a big if you can make your pitches. If you can't, and you can see this is not about velocity. 96, 98. We've got to go back to opening day of this year when we saw that kind of velocity. But for Jeremy, can I relax? Can I make my pitches? Can I command my stuff?
2-0 count here. Gomes And that's going to be a strike. He did not give in on the pitch. Gomes has really struggled against right-handers. He's hitting only 180 off righties, but 385 off left-handers. You got that one right on the money. Pitch Track sponsored by Papa John's. Order online at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. 2-1 delivery to Gomes. Gets the strike call there, and Guthrie evens it up at 2-2.
Yeah, Johnny Gomes probably would not be playing today. Maybe Chris Heisey might also be somebody that Dusty Baker would out, but Jay Bruce chills last night, so a little bit under the weather. He's not in the lineup.
Another home run hitter the Orioles don't have to see in this lineup today. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Long hold set up outside, and it will miss. And the count goes full.
See, and that's a perfect example. Right pitch, wrong location. Just couldn't quite execute it close enough to get Johnny Gomes to maybe roll over, get a double play ball.
Orioles trying to win their 10th series. They are 9-15-1 in series this year. 3-2 delivery to Gomes, foul back.
Wow.
The Reds have gone 12-12-1 in series. And he would like to have that pitch back again.
Well, 97, and again, the one thing we saw when Johnny Gomes came up through the Devil Rays lineup, tremendous power, great bat speed.
RBI chance for him. He's hitting only 208 with runners in scoring position on the year. Phillips and Votto the base runners, and he got him. Not much question about that. He gave a half-hearted attempt to first, but he knew.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't know what I was thinking. Look at this ball. I mean, well thrown, good velocity, but right down the chute. 96. And it just freezes him.
And our Jeep Exmo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass. Orioles will get to see Fred Lewis for the first time in this ball game as he brings a left-handed bat in. The 30-year-old veteran out of Mississippi, had been with the Giants and then Toronto last year, and now with the Reds, signed to a one-year deal. And he'll take the pitch inside for a ball. On the season for Lewis, he's had only 6 at-bats against left-handers and 77 against righties, hitting .299 off right-handers. And a breaking ball that's there. Good pitch by Guthrie.
Yeah, I thought his numbers would be a lot better against Jeremy, only because we've seen him, a double machine, but he's 1 for 11. Take a look right here. There's that good curveball. I mean, and it was a good one. 1 for 11, but it was a home run. But loves hitting here. Who doesn't?
385 here at Camden Yards. And an inside fastball and a good one. You heard the mitt pop on that 97-mile-an-hour pitch. Tatum working behind the plate with Guthrie.
Yeah, home plate umpire Alan Porter, and already a lot of times umpires will not call that inside pitch because batters will jump back. And Alan Porter, home plate umpire, has already established that he'll do that.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the delivery, and that's going to be up high. And Guthrie trying to get through the inning without giving anything up. He has already thrown 27 pitches.
Well, again, this is not about stuff. I mean, he's got as good a fastball as he has had all year long as Freddie Lewis goes down on one knee.
Phillips off second base, Votto off first. 2 ball, 2 strike count. They're letting Phillips, the Orioles letting Phillips get that good secondary lead. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and he got him. So Guthrie will get a couple of strikeouts. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base for Buck Showalter. The O's lineup coming up. look at it brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Hardy, Markakis, and Jones, Guerrero, Lee, and Scott, Reynolds, and Blake Davis gets another start, and Craig Tatum works behind the plate. Adam Jones, what a month.
And our scouting report on Homer Bailey back off the DL. Well, 9 home runs last night. Your first name's Homer. I think you better get another first name. Right leg hurt his shoulder hitting in Philadelphia the end of May. And a major part of, again, the defending Central Division team, Cincinnati. They need him back, need innings from him to, again, repeat.
And the pitch is up high as Bailey's activated today. Came in yesterday. 3-1 record, a real fine opponent batting average, only .212 in the 30 innings he has worked so far this year. Here's J.J. Hardy up. He'll take the pitch on the inside corner. Hardy with a 7-game hit streak coming into the ball game. Homer Bailey, by the way, does have another name, so David. If he wants to use it, it's David. Homer is a nickname for his great-great-grandfather from LaGrange, Texas, where he was born and raised and still lives.
Kind of like he has one of those reputations, #1 draft choice for the Reds, very much like Dylan Bundy out of Oklahoma that the Orioles drafted. They didn't get too many hits off him when he was in high school back in LaGrange.
Let up on that one, and it's popped up first base. Votto had trouble finding it. Now we'll get underneath and genuflex as he makes the catch.
Take a look at the Cincinnati defense. Lewis, Stubbs, who can run him down in center. Heisey over in right. Cairo, Yanish, Phillips, Votto, last year's MVP, and then a guy no stranger here, Ramon Hernandez, who played Friday night back behind the plate for the Reds.
And there's Hernandez, the former Oriole catcher. Nick Markakis, a 15-game hit streak. He's had a real fine series, 3 for 9, a homer and 2 RBIs, and he will foul that one away. For Bailey, this will be his 62nd career start. 25 years old, 15 DL to start the year with a bad right shoulder, and then went back on the DL with that bad shoulder, and he had the same problem last year. That pitch is going to be taken down low for a ball. Bailey very tough to get to early. First 2 times through the lineup, teams are hitting 165 against him.
Yeah, Jim,
after that, 357.
Yeah, the numbers go up, and of course, again, missed 5 weeks starting with a shoulder impingement, and then hurt his shoulder hitting later on once he had come back. Jim Presley, who was the Orioles hitting instructor this year but with the Marlins the last 5 years, said he was pretty impressive against the Marlins last year. 4-pitch pitcher. Got a lot of guys out with 93, 94 out of the strike zone, but he does have curveball, changeup, and slider. #1 stuff.
He's a good one if he's healthy. 2-1 delivery, that'll go to short. Yanish is there to put it away, and 2 down. Speaking of being hot, how about Mr. Jones? He and Markakis and Hardy and Wieters all delivered home runs. First 4-homer ball game for the Orioles this year, yet would end up losing the ball game 10-5 with the 5 homers that were put on the board by the Reds. Jones 2 for 9 in the series. Both of the hits have been home runs, and they are the 2 RBIs he's picked up.
Yeah, career high 19. It looks like he may zoom by that if he stays healthy like he did last year.
That'll be taken on the inside corner for a strike. Adam looking for some career numbers again, as he has done in each of the last few seasons. He just keeps upping the ante. The 0-1 delivery to him. That'll be down low. He's on a pace to hit 28 home runs and have 96 runs batted in. He's had 4 homers in the last 7 games and at least 1 RBI in 7 consecutive ball games.
Yeah, sliders, curveballs, fastballs. Pretty doesn't really matter.
1-1 delivery to him, and that's down to third. Even with the bag was Miguel Cairo, and that will do it. So Bailey comes off the DL and retires the side in order in his first appearance since the end of May. On booze from Pasadena. For every double play the Orioles turn in our ball game, John, you get $1,000. See how you can turn double plays into cash and enter to win some great prizes. Just go to mdlottery.com/double play. John, good luck.
He's saying stop striking them out. Throw some grounders. Hit some guys on. Throw some ground balls.
Probably the only Oriole fans who hope somebody gets on base in the game is our contestant.
John Booz. They can booze it up.
Here's Drew Stubbs.
Celebrating.
Yes, I understand.
Stubbs
2 for 10 with a homer and 1 RBI in the series. The fleet of foot base stealer has been kept off for the most part. Wow. Guthrie's throwing some heat.
Yeah, is he ever? Well, you got to throttle down. You always talk about it. Again, sometimes you come out of the bullpen and out of the game a little bit sooner than he liked. The shoulder soldier injury up in Toronto. So feeling good today.
That one off the plate. Davis.
No play. Even if he catches it. It reminds me, Drew Stubbs with more power, but Rocco Baldelli, when he came up, Don Zimmer said Joe DiMaggio. DiMaggio used to be able to hit 2 hoppers to shortstop and beat him out, but this high chopper, Baltimore chop here in Baltimore, tough play for Blake Davis under any circumstances.
I told you Dusty Baker, who's talking with him, said he thinks Stubbs is the fastest player in the majors. Said he knows he's faster than Brett Gardner with the Yankees, is considered to be about the fastest player in the American League. So Stubbs a real threat to go over there. Now, as a base stealer, he's had his problems. He's got great speed, but teams have been able to get him out taking off. So we'll see if he runs here or not. Guthrie, well aware of that, is going to keep an eye on him. There you see Stubbs, 88% effective.
He had 30 steals last year and not an immensely big lead. Probably another step or so.
Ramon Hernandez will take a strike on the inside corner from his former battery mate.
Yeah, the difficulty, and maybe not so as much as we mentioned, only, again, 16 starts now, and they've only attempted 5 steals. That tells you Jeremy Guthrie very quick to the plate. He's very attentive. He's got a quick move. He doesn't let you get a running lead on very many occasions.
That'll go to third. Here's your chance, Mr. Booz. There, no, not any. Not only didn't they get 2, they didn't get any. Davis had to come off the bag taking the throw and could not get back on it. And again, Stubbs' speed allowed him to get there.
Yeah, Mark Reynolds is not going to be able to get it out of the glove. See, right here, going to his left. And again, what kind of secondary lead do you get? And you can see, I mean, you don't have to even mention what Jeremy Guthrie's thinking. 2 infield hits now.
They actually call that an error.
Based on what?
Yeah, that's what I said. They call the error on the throw.
I just don't think you can't give a guy an error that he has to. Well, I mean, you can give him anything you want, but
at least a fielder's choice.
Yeah, but look at this. Can't get it out of his glove. And where's the error? Maybe a little bit off the bag. I think he beats it anyway.
Yep. Well, here's Miguel Cairo. It's an error for the moment. And there are runners on at first and second base. And Guthrie again with 2 runners on, as happened in the first inning. Cairo, his first appearance in the series, one of the reasons is he has faced Guthrie. And he is 2 for 2 off Jeremy Guthrie in those limited chances.
Yeah, line drive hitter, veteran, 37 years old. He's played professional ball now for 15 years. 9 different teams.
And he will take the pitch inside for a ball, and it'll go to 1 ball and 1 strike. You see the numbers, 295 career here in this ballpark. This is the 31st game that Miguel Cairo has played here at Camden Yards. Cairo lifetime against the Orioles, a .254 hitter. Now Guthrie having to work again out of that stretch with the Reds getting runners on base. Yanish, the number 9 hitter, on deck. That's going to be towards center field. Jones coming. He's got it. And the runners will get back. Cairo out of there. Don't forget, after the day off tomorrow, the Cardinals are coming to town on Tuesday. Every Tuesday is Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Upper reserve seats $9, so hope you'll come out to the yard. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Cardinals, of course, without Albert Pujols. that may be good as far as the Orioles are concerned about having to face him, but not good for the fans or baseball to have Pujols out. Here's Paul Janisch. Janisch, the shortstop, 1 for 6. He played in game 1.
Yeah, that was a big base hit he got. He hit a base hit off of Jason Birkin, who came in a 4-3 game. And singled into left field to tie it up. The Orioles would win it 5-4 in 12 innings. Had a hanging slider. So, you know, again, only 1 for 6 in this series. The guy that, even though he has pretty good numbers with running the scoring position, he won up at the plate.
And Guthrie's got a chance for another big out. No infield fly rule now. And it's played by Reynolds on the back of the mound for the second out. That's again, a tough call right there for the second base umpire, Gary Cederstrom. Normally that kind of play is an immediate infield fly rule, but that ball right over the mound looked like players were going to have trouble finding it, so he waited a while before he put the arm up.
Yeah, but you're still going to put the arm up, I guess, because obviously you don't want the runner to have to advance. And if you do advance when that fly rule comes up, it's at your own risk.
Yep.
But it's a tough play because of the mound. Now, you know, we can't have the warm-up mounds. We don't like that, but can't.
Got to have the mound.
Yeah. Pitchers would not like taking away that 10-inch mound.
So here's Heisey at the top of the order. 2 down. And the pitch is taken outside for a ball. A couple of hits on the board for the Reds and a couple more base runners on here in the inning.
But a chance. Again, a big, strong guy. Wednesday, 3 home runs in a nightcap in Cincinnati against the Yankees.
256 runners in scoring position. Behind second base. Hardy wants it. And Hardy's got it. And again, Guthrie works his way out of a jam, leaving 2 more on. We go to the bottom half. Guerrero will lead it off. No score. Shortstop this year, J.J. Hardy climbing that ladder, tied with Peralta now with Asdrubal Cabrera on top. Then you got Escobar, Ramirez, and Ibar. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. J.J. Hardy and Adam Jones have really taken advantage of the month of June as far as the long ball is concerned. Jones has got 7 in June. Reynolds has got 6, and J.J. Hardy has bested them both with 8 home runs this month. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. Vladdy will foul it back. 1 for 8 in the series. Orioles designated hitter has faced Homer Bailey a couple of times. 0 for 2 against him. Vladdy continues to be among the leaders in average and RBIs for DHs in the American League. Overall in interleague play so far this year, as you might expect, big advantage for the American League. DHs hitting .274 in the American League teams, .225 for the National League teams. And foul back, 1-2.
Yeah, for most of the American League teams, obviously, you look at Boston, their team built around a DH with David Ortiz, who's having a monster year. In fact, Terry Francona kind of mulling over, should I actually play him at first and put Gonzalez in the outfield when they go to Philadelphia early next week.
Oh, swung on and missed. Play is going to be made by Hernandez, and he will.
Well, that's the stuff we were talking about. Again, slider to get the 2 strikes, and then the overhand curveball. So, again, it's a matter of health with Homer Bailey. You can see 81 miles per hour, get him to wave, expand the strike zone. And the key for Homer, and not even get it close enough that he can make contact, because we've seen him hit it on 1 hop.
He had 100 strikeouts and 109 innings pitched last year in 19 starts, so he can put some Ks up. His first of the ball game. Here's Derek Lee. Lee 3 for 9, a home run and an RBI in the series. The game winner, walk off in the extra inning ball game, 12th inning on Friday night. 1 ball, 1 strike count. You've already seen Bailey's not afraid to come inside a little bit. He's not allowing the Oriole hitters, especially right-handers, to dig in on him. That'll go to third and foul. And 1-1.
Yeah, for him, I would think it'd be pitch count. Pretty good afternoon to pitch. It's not overwhelmingly hot, not too humid. I don't think it's going to get to 90 today. Again, just coming off the shoulder strain. So they'd like to get him out of there, even though their bullpen is, from what I've seen, pretty good bullpen. They've got some great arms out there.
I think very underrated at this point. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Lee. Bailey will get the high strikeout, and that's 2 in a row for him, and 2 down here in the second inning.
Yeah, just go up the ladder, and that's what Jim Presley, the Orioles hitting instructor, said he did against the Marlins. Of course, the key is to get to 2 strikes so you can get Derek Lee or any other hitter to chase.
He does not walk a lot of people. Only 5 walks in 30 innings in the games that he's pitched this year. Here is Luke Scott. Little gentle breeze blowing out to left, but really very, very gentle. About 3 miles an hour when we started. Luke Scott on the off-speed delivery, and boy, has he seen plenty of that. Off-speed pitches galore as this season has moved along. And Luke trying to adjust to that, hitting .234 in the month of June. .236 overall in the year. Luke has connected for a couple of home runs so far this month. 8 on the year. Pitch will miss inside to him, 2-0.
And then the other part of the problem is the injury to that front shoulder that gets you to the ball. And again, not hitting the fastball as well as he do, so, or at least he did last year, or in fact the last 3 years with the Orioles. I mean, there's a perfect example. He's looking fastball, 93. And again, if you can extend with that front arm, and you could see him, he's got the cortisone chart, looked like for maybe 3, 4, 5 games, getting a little bit better. But that's a pitch he's got to drive. And when you're not healthy, hard to do.
Here's the 2-1 delivery by Bailey to him, and that's going to catch the inside corner for a strike. Luke has had only 2 hits in his last 20 plate appearances, covering 6 games. Trying to get the long ball bat back.
Well, this is what you just talked about, trying to get him out with breaking balls. He misses his fastballs. Let's see how with 2 strikes, 2 balls. Probably try to come back to maybe something other than the fastball.
Timeout taken by Scott to readjust. Nobody on here, no score. Bottom half of the second inning. One of these teams will have a series win in this rubber match, and they can't get together on the sign, so Hernandez will head out to have a word with Bailey. Interleague play ongoing right in the middle of it. You see the Orioles are 5-6. Runs per game is good. Runs allowed isn't. Team average is way up there, second best in Interleague. Home runs at 13. Runner in scoring position number okay. Average prior to Interleague was .284, though. That number with runners in scoring position has steadily declined. 2-2 delivery off speed tap foul.
Yeah, I think that was a veteran catcher and a young pitcher. Again, Bailey only 25, saying, well, I threw a fastball by him, and Ron Hernandez says, so what? He has trouble with the breaking ball. Throw me a good one, which he did, and Luke was able to foul it off.
Homer Bailey, 19 wins, 17 losses for his young career. 2 ball, 2 strikeout. Pitch again. And this one will be fouled back into the screen. Well, Luke trying to time up on one of these, while Bailey and Hernandez try and outwit the hitter here as to what they're going to throw. Reds coming in 3-8 against the American League ball clubs. They've struggled interleague play, and they're getting the fastball away. Strikes the side out. 3 Ks in the ball game as well. We've completed 2 here at Camden Yards. Reds and Orioles. No score. Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Hyundai, it's time to join the movement. Gary Thaw and Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards as the Orioles come in 21-19 at home. Overall, they have now dropped to 6 games below 500, 9.5 behind the league leaders as the Yankees and Red Sox battle it out for first place. The Yankees in first now, a half game out of Boston. Red Sox struggling. Guthrie, and the pitch is going to miss outside to Phillips. A single his first time up. Brandon Phillips with the 1-for-1. Now he's picked up 6 hits and 12 at bats against the Orioles. Guthrie's 1-0 delivery to him. That'll be fouled back 1-1.
Yeah, it started on Friday night off of Jagabakis when he just doubled down the line to get him back into the game, and they would eventually come back from a 4-0 deficit. So he uses the whole field, and when he does that, he's an awfully good player. Again, a 2-time Gold Glover. Do a lot of things to help you win.
1-1 delivery is inside out to right. Marquez, and he's got it. On our Who'd Have Thought screen, who'd have thought the Philadelphia Phillies would have 1 or fewer runs in 15 games now? They lost 4-1 yesterday. Jake Peavy, hey, 238 career starts, made his first relief appearance yesterday. And for J.J. Hardy, the Who'd Have Thoughts keep on coming. 6-game multi-hit streak, the second longest in Major League Baseball this season, to Vladimir Guerrero and Lance Berkman, who have had 7. And Hardy will try and reach that number 7 today. And a strike called on that. Adrian Johnson at third base saying he went around. Joey Votto got the walk, the only one surrendered by Guthrie so far in the game. Votto hitting .338 on the road, fourth best road average in the National League. Guthrie backs him off.
Yeah, that is what Jeremy has done, and it's so important. It just changes your whole vision, even to an MVP. 31 of the possible 32 first place votes last year. That gives you an idea what kind of year he had in the National League.
And he won the Hank Aaron Award along with Jose Bautista in the American League for best offensive player. Got that during the World Series with Hank present, actually, to present the award to both of them.
Yeah, a little bigger, stronger version of Nick Markakis, even though he's a first baseman and Nick is a gold, at least should be a Gold Glove right fielder.
1-2 delivery to Votto, and he chases one, and Guthrie gets him his third strikeout.
So again, you want to unsettle a hitter, move his feet, and that's what Jeremy did early on. And then right here, just the high. I mean, he hadn't had this kind of fastball since the first game of the year. He just makes
a couple of quick outs, and he needs a quick inning here. Well, that pitch count up to 46.
Well, the first inning, what, 27, and then 12, and I had him 26-13.
Yep.
Innings 1 and 2, and again, you're right.
So get him right back near the pace. And foul back by Gomes, who tried to jump on it. He was called out on strikes his first time up.
He got away with a hanging breaking ball there, and of course, you can again, Johnny Gomes isn't going up there to hit soft singles.
Designated hitter, premier pinch hitter when they're playing in the National League, and gets some time in the field. 0-1 delivery to Gomes. That's outside.
Well, Dusty Baker, there's been a lot of criticism. We talked about Chris Heisey, who's leading off. He had 3 home runs, and everybody said, oh, you ought to play him. When he did, he was 3 for 20. And Dusty Baker, who was a terrific player, played on some really good Atlanta Dodger teams, said, I'd like to match up my young players, give them a chance to succeed. So today would be Jay Bruce with probably Gomes on the bench. But, you know, again, when you have young players, you have to look at, and this is what scouting reports about, having a sense of the game, what the guy that's going to pitch that day, what he can do and what he can't do, and try to get those good matchups.
Guthrie up high with a pitch, and the count will go to 3-1 on Gomes. A highly offensive Reds team. They are first in runs in the National League, third in average, fourth in home runs. They walk a lot, third most, strike out quite a bit. They are 10th in the National League in strikeouts. 3-1 delivery to Gomes, rips it to third. Nice play. Pickett at each end, and he can't do it. And the second error of the game is going to be charged to Reynolds on a lackadaisical throw to first.
Yeah, he just couldn't get his feet underneath him. And when you don't get your feet underneath him, you lose your balance. Watch this. Terrific play. Rocket. Now watch this. See, I mean, come on, one more. And then just kind of flips it. And again, this is a play that Derek Lee usually makes. Terrific play there. And again, just kind of short arms it a little bit. Usually drops his arm a little bit and has that arm in a slot. Couldn't find it, and gets another error.
18 errors on the year for Reynolds at third base. Keeps it alive. Nice stop made by Tatum. Lewis up, a strikeout victim his first time up. So for Guthrie, here come the added pitches on an inning that should be over. Lewis with a 2 for 11 and a home run lifetime off the Orioles starter. 1-0 count. And that is a strike on the off-speed pitch. For the great offense Reynolds has put up, the errors, if you use one of those new stats where you weigh how many runs do you give because of errors measured against how much do you bring with your bat, Reynolds coming into this weekend was just about even. 1-1 delivery, and that'll be taken inside, and a 2-1 count.
Yeah, the game just seems to speed up just a little bit when he plays third. I mean, because it looks like he has pretty good hands most of the time. You know, Dusty Baker was talking about it. Earl Weaver talked about it. He's just make the plays. Don't hurry. Make the play. Get your balance. Make a strong throw. If you rush or you get out of rhythm, whether you're pitching, hitting, fielding, the game speeds up. And there you go, errors that you talked about. Because it's not a range thing. He gets to a lot of balls, so obviously he'll maybe make a few more errors, but Again, maybe sometimes not getting your feet underneath you.
Guthrie gets the pop up to short. Hardy is there, and he's got it. So it cost him only 4 extra pitches. No runs, no hits in error, and 1 left on base. The pitchers duel underway. Is a great place to come for your next group outing. Gather up the family, friends, co-workers, colleagues. Have a great day or night of baseball here at Camden Yards. There are discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15 and facilities available for groups up to 1,000. Make your plans now. We'll see you here. Bring your group out to Camden Yards. No score as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. There's a group.
A mini group. See, you're right about the glare. Had the glasses on.
They know.
Looking cool.
They came prepared. Going after the first pitch, popped up to second base by Reynolds. Well done. Phillips with the...
Boy, it looked like he had it.
Yeah.
And then moved a little bit. Boy, I still remember when he came up with the Indians. You know, they brought him up, young player. Came over from Montreal and little overmatched early on, but he's figured it out pretty nicely.
He really looks like he's always got that smile on his face. He's like Vladdy. They enjoy playing the game. They like being out there. They play hard, play relaxed. He's always like that. He makes some plays.
Yeah, Dusty said, I'd like to have him maybe not quite as relaxed as he is sometimes. Talking about Dusty Baker, his skipper. But he, again, is got a lot of tools.
Headed to Phoenix to the All-Star game at second base in all likelihood. He's the leading vote getter. That'll be foul back. This has been a series to remember for Blake Davis on Friday. His first career hit ended up being a triple. First RBIs came off that triple. There were 2 of them. So for Blake Davis, ended up being a first multi-hit, multi-RBI. Ball gathered up and taken home to begin a collection, he hopes, of Major League game balls. 2 ball, 1 strikeout, 1 away. In at third base, Cairo. Davis can lay him down. Tatum waiting on deck. Up the middle, off the mound, and a base hit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did against Edinson Volquez. Looked for a first pitch fastball, triple to right center. Bailey gets behind him. Figured not a lot of power. I'll throw a strike. Well, that's all right. It's a single, but a very good at bat by Blake Davis.
So the Orioles pick up hit number 1. And that will bring up Greg Tatum. Tatum getting his 7th start behind the plate for the Orioles. He's got a 3-game hit streak going. He had a couple of RBIs on Sunday against Washington, his first multi-RBI game. Runner at first base and 1 out. And the pitch up high for a ball.
He's done a nice job of acclimating himself for a guy that was always a catch and throw guy, which he certainly can still do, to being a guy that's going to maybe play once a week. You know, line drive hitter, worked very hard, not only with Jim Presley this year, Terry Crowley, last year's hitting instructor. use the whole field.
Pitch will be taken inside, and a 2-0 count from Bailey, who has not walked anybody yet in the ball game, and Hardy is waiting on deck.
So again, here is when Craig will look for a fastball in the middle of the plate, and again, not home run power on a lot of occasions, but he certainly has gap power, double power, and maybe you pick up an extra base hit, score a run here.
2-0 count, runners going. Tatum swings to protect, throw by Hernandez, not there, blocked by Phillips. It'll be a stolen base for Davis, and another first.
Yeah, a little run and hit. You start the runner if you're Buck Showalter. You can see him looking just to make sure if the ball was put in play, and then Ramon Hernandez's throw. It will skip. Came in catching 35%, 12 of 34. So now make it 12 out of 35.
So the Orioles get an RBI opportunity. First stolen base of its career. And Tatum, in protecting, now has a 2-ball 1-strike count. Phillips jockeying out there with Dave. Davis made a charge to second base and then did a 360. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and Tatum will take a strike on the outside corner. He didn't think so. That is being called. Pretty expansive strike zone, fair one, but
yeah,
he's calling them all.
It looks like Alan Porter, and first time I've ever seen him umpire, it looks like, he's very emphatic. Sounds like he's hesitating. He knows what's going to be a ball and a strike, and hitters and pitchers have to get on the same page with it.
2-2 delivery, and that'll be outside. So Tatum takes it 3-2. Now the Orioles are in a struggle in this series, 3 for 19 with runners in scoring position, and only 5 for their last 37.
Yeah, well, that started the last 2 games in Pittsburgh. A lot of guys on, not getting them in.
Orioles have had a big number, leading the league for most of the year with runners in scoring position. 3-ball, 2-strike count. And Tatum to third, and that is a foul ball. Well, he'll get another shot at it. Figures we would have after the home run derby last night, where 15 runs were scored on 22 hits. We'll probably have a 1-run ball game, 5 hits.
A little different stuff this afternoon. Guthrie is throwing as hard as he possibly as he has all year long, and then this kid Homer Bailey just coming off the DL. Pretty good arm.
First walk surrendered by Bailey. And that will bring up Hardy. Now the Orioles get the man to the plate they want there with runners on at first and second base. Hardy's going to get another RBI opportunity. Look at the numbers, up to 309 on the year now. And J.J. Hardy hitting 375 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, he hadn't missed too many high pitches. It doesn't matter. Change up last night off Bronson Arroyo for a home run. That's usually a pitch that he'll hack at, but again, can't second guess as hot as he's been. Came in hitting about 385 in June with one of those 8 home runs you talked about.
1-strike count, Bailey with 1 away, and that ball is going to be popped up infield, second base. Infield fly rule in effect. Caught by Phillips, and there are 2 down. Big out getting Hardy.
And there's nothing like having good stuff. And again, inside middle of the plate, but again, that little extra. Homer Bailey has that kind of stuff.
So Nick Markakis will look for the 2-out RBI. Nick lined out softly to short his first time up. 15-game hit streak now for Nick. He is too shy of his career mark of 17, which he has reached twice. His 15-game hit streak is the longest for the Orioles this year. And the fastball is a called strike. So both these pitchers trying to work through a little trouble. Guthrie's done it twice in innings 1 and 2. And now Bailey for the first time, trying to get out of a first and second 1-out situation. There are now 2 down. Month of June continues to be great for these two. Hardy at 34, Nick Markakis at 30. Those are the hit leaders in the American League, with Adrian Gonzalez of the Red Sox leading it at 37. Red Sox have 2 on that list with Jacoby Ellsbury coming alive. 1-1 delivery, and he did it. He's got a base hit. Lewis is charging. Run will come home. Here's the throw. Cutoff man, throw to third, and they got him. The run will count. And that could have been close, but the Orioles are going to get on the board. Markakis with the RBI single, bringing Davis home. Then Tatum is taken out at third base as Lewis hit the cutoff man, and that's why you do it. And the Orioles have a lead, 1-0. Ten specially selected games. Today's one of them. They get the club hat membership card, Orioles Kids magazines. Still plenty of games to go, and you can still join. Family and friends can get tickets for as low as $6. And at every Dugout Club game, there are special giveaways as well. Find out about the Junior Orioles Dugout Club. 888-848-BIRD. Orioles.com/Dugout Club.
What a great, not only is it a great time, great bargain.
For the whole family.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Marianne Cricchio, the Mimo's Restaurant, said she used to be a junior Oriole for $10 back in 1971. Sit out there in the bleachers at Memorial Stadium.
So it's only gone up by
$10 in 40 years. It's pretty darn good.
Yep. Can't say that about the gas, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's coming down.
That's right. Here's Drew Stubbs as Guthrie goes back to work. Stubbs had a single his first time up. Third hit of the series. Stubbs, Hernandez, and Cairo. Nick Markakis credited as his 29th RBI, a 2-out base hit to give the Orioles the 1-0 lead in the ballgame. And Guthrie's pitch will miss down low, and he falls behind 2-0. For Jeremy here at home this year, he's gone 1-4, ERA of 4.2, lifetime 19-31 here at Camden Yards. Fastball is on the inside corner for a strike. Orioles looking for the series win. Day off tomorrow, and the Cardinals come in on Tuesday to begin a 3-game series. Zach Britton will go against Kyle Loesch. Scheduled starters on Tuesday night. Real race going on in the Central Division that these Reds in the National League are involved in. Up Milwaukee in first place. Cardinals, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati trail by only 3. Tatum's under it, and he's got it. Stubbs is retired. Take a look at our league leaderboard, brought to you by Lexus of Towson, Baltimore area's #1 Lexus dealer. Invite you to come and see why they are #1. Runs scored, National League team leaders. The Reds are on top. Then the Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Brewers, and Rockies. So you've got all 3 of those teams from the Central. The Reds, Cardinals, and Brewers involved in some big-time offenses.
And good hitting ballparks, too.
Great hitting ballparks. Yep.
Maybe St. Louis, probably the fairest of those 5.
Pirates are the surprise team. They've won 4 in a row now, and they are 2 games above 500, tied with Cincinnati for 3rd place. 3 games out. Cardinals 2 games out behind the Brew Crew. Ramon Hernandez will take the fastball. It's up high, 1-1.
Yeah, and if you're Jeremy Guthrie and you had a chance to watch Ramon hit on Friday, you know he's seen the ball pretty well, over 300. Laid off some very good breaking balls off the Jacoboxes. And he takes that one right there because he tricked him.
Good breaking ball.
And I think again, Jeremy, as he gets here in the fourth inning, stuff's going to probably come down a little bit, maybe make a little bit better pitches, not just get by on stuff alone, which he's certainly capable of doing.
Hernandez will ask for the timeout.
Plus
He's done a great job platooning, catching. I mean, he's putting up some really solid offensive numbers. 313, 7 doubles, a triple, 19 RBI. 1-2, and he got him.
Yeah, perfect slider. Best one he's thrown all afternoon. And so you come out of the throwing mode because the stuff was so overwhelming the first 3 innings. And now you, again, as a veteran pitcher, you start pitching. And you got that 1-0 lead. A lot of runs to work with. Probably feels that's a ton of runs.
Our pitch track sponsored by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. 2 down, nobody on. Cairo. Flied to center. Hardy's got to make the long throw. No. Pulled Lee off the bag. That'll be a base hit. Derek's having a day over there of stretching and reaching and not quite getting it.
Well, if you're J.J. Hardy, toughest play for any shortstop, going to your right, making the long throw. Cairo, of course, contact hitter out of the box. And again, at 37, still runs well. And you could see Derek, you got a big target right there. Great perspective here. You got to stop and plant, and then trying to stay on the bag. He's coming off a little bit.
Paul Janisch shows bunt. He popped out his first time up. Reynolds was back. He will move in a little bit now and play even with the bag. Janisch platooning at shortstop in the rotating starting lineup that Dusty Baker has this year. They've got a real good shortstop in the minor leagues that a lot of fans are clamoring for him to be called up. And maybe if the Reds continue to stay in this race, they'll do that.
Yeah, Zach Cozart, who's well over 300 home runs, a bunch of doubles. I think 23 doubles already.
Ooh! Yep. How did that not hit him?
Well, he's not trying to hit home runs, but he is trying to cover that outside corner. So look at it. He's talking right there to Craig Tatum, saying, "How did that ball miss me?"
Good question.
Yep. There's rainy days, dodgeball. You would have thought that would have gotten the uniform.
Janisch will take the pitch. It is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike on Janisch. He was 1 for 7 in the series. Light hitting shortstop at 231. He had 51 starts last year. First full year in the majors was in 09, all coming with the Reds. Runner at first, 2-1 delivery to him in the air, center field. Adam Jones, he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Guthrie holding him down, and the Orioles leading. did yesterday. Some great performances. Justin Verlander, 6 wins, 6 starts, 51 strikeouts in 49 innings. Since 1900, only one other pitcher has had that kind of a span, Chris Carpenter in 2005. First 10-game winners, Jurens, CC Sabathia, Justin Verlander. This is the latest in a year for a 10-game winner since 1950. Trevor Cahill, 5-0, 1.89 ERA interleague over the last 2. And Joey Votto getting the 2 homers off Mattis, the third 2-homer ball game he's had off a single pitcher. And some real good performances on the mound yesterday. I was really shocked at that 10-game winner number, though. That's the latest into a season since 1950 to have a 10-game winner. Talked about the season of the pitcher last year and again this year with the offensive numbers down. I guess it just goes to show that starters aren't around for a lot of the endings.
Well, that's the message you give to any young pitcher, and whether it's Homer Bailey with outstanding stuff is, try to keep your pitch count somewhere between 14 and 16. Throw a lot of strikes, trust your stuff, react to the way the hitter reacts to you, and then take your chances of getting into the 7th inning and winning more games.
Sounded good. It's foul. Fun to watch, though.
Yeah. Well, he got it in enough where Adam couldn't do anything but jerk it foul. Every time I think of Dusty Baker, I think about the team that Davey Johnson, who was going to take over for the Nationals. You might have talked about that. How he goes from Baltimore to Atlanta. He gets Hank Aaron to teach him to hit that ball fair and ends up hitting 43 home runs. Never hit more than 18 here as an Oriole.
1-2 delivery is going to be popped up this time, first base side. Nobody sees it. That's going to be a base hit. It is a fair ball. The only person who saw it was Homer Bailey, but it was too late, as Hernandez and Votto didn't.
The funny thing is, not for them obviously, but the funny thing is, the unusual thing is that ball's going foul. See right there, Votto can't see it. That glare that you talked about. It's yours, Homer. Up. And of course he kicks it fair with his glove. Right there. This is high school. Of course, if you're in high school and you're as good as him, everybody called Homer, Homer, your ball, and he probably would have taken those pop-ups. But this is the big leagues.
Hernandez will go out to extend an apology and give his starter just a breath here after that dive he took. And Guerrero's coming up. So Adam Jones gets the single to lead off the 4th inning. Bailey retires 80% of leadoff batters. He's real good at that, and the Orioles have the leadoff man on for the first time. Well, let's see if they can take advantage of it. Vladdy, a strikeout victim. 0 for 3 lifetime against Bailey. Orioles get their 3rd hit, each team with 3. And a throw over just to try and get back into the rhythm, I suspect, here, as Jones did not have a very big lead. For Guerrero this June, 259. He's had 1 home run. Adams got a pretty good lead over there. And Guerrero will take it down low. Jones faked the go. Kirby will come over to talk to him. Wayne Kirby, first base coach.
Yeah, Homer Bailey, 6'3". Perfect pitcher's body in a sense. Great height, great leverage. A little over 200 pounds. Let's see how quick he is to the plate. Pretty not much of a high leg kick.
That's going to be a base hit into the gap left center. Lewis Jones will go to 3rd easily. Guerrero's got a base hit. The Orioles cover the corners here with nobody out.
Well, 2nd time through the lineup. You talked about how the 3rd time it goes up all the way into the 380s. The little slider, he got him out with it the first time. Doesn't execute the pitch quite as well. And again, if you're Vladdy Guerrero, 319 lifetime hitter, you don't miss mistakes, and he doesn't. And then very, very good base running by Adam Jones. Great speed, play in front of you, easily into 3rd base.
So a great chance for the Orioles to get to Bailey. Nobody out. Here's Derek Lee. Infield at double play depth. Lee struck out his first time up. Not this time. Way back left field. Goodbye home run. 3 RBIs for Derek Lee.
second home run of this series. Take a look right here. They try to come up and in. Foot gets down. And in this ballpark, you could see him get the barrel of the bat to the ball. Had trouble doing that most of the year. Not this time. No doubt about it.
5 of his 6 home runs have been hit here at Camden Yards this year. RBIs 20, 21, and 22 for Lee. And the Orioles extend their lead, and Dusty Baker wishes he had been wrong. Talking with you on Friday, and we mentioned it last night. He said Derek Lee is a second-half player. When he won the batting title when I was managing the Cubs back in 05, he just tore it up second half. And he said Derek Lee's been like that throughout his career. We put the numbers up last night that confirmed that. And Lee is starting a little early on the second half by the looks of things.
Well, I think the Orioles, you talked to Buck Showalter, he said, I just want him to get some steady at-bats. And the great thing that Buck has done, even with Guerrero's home run numbers down, is that they get their at-bats. They don't have to be looking over their shoulder.
Luke Scott with a 1-1. By the way, that is the first home run a right-hander has had off Bailey. Bailey has been, in the few games he's pitched, 190 for right-handers and no home runs prior to that shot by Lee.
Gary, it looked to me that was a perfect example. Young pitcher, veteran hitter looking in. Didn't quite get it in all the way, and that's what happens, especially in this ballpark. You hit a ball 375 feet to left center, it's getting out of here.
1-2 delivery to Scott, and it'll be swung on and fouled off. Don't forget, O's maximum access is now in the palm of your hand. Text Orioles 29292. Message and data rates may apply. D. Lee, the quiet leader this year with the ball club. Jones and Guerrero get on ahead of him. That bloop hit on the pop-up nobody could find started the inning, and the Orioles have taken advantage of it.
You know, a lot of times, and again, if you look at the great series that Derek Lee had against the Nationals over in Washington last weekend, they couldn't get the ball in. Would he get 9 hits in that series? And then all of a sudden Pittsburgh gets it in a little bit better. Bailey tried to do something that he's not real comfortable doing.
And he got it.
Yeah, good change up there. Just turns it over, down and away, and Luke Scott swings through it. It's a matter of making good pitches and taking your chances, and this is one of those.
Scott has struck out twice. 2 of the 4 Bailey has in the ballgame. Despite the 5 home runs hit by the Reds in the ballgame last night in this series, the Orioles have out-homered the Reds 7-5. Here's Mike Reynolds, and he will send that one towards the seats, and a foul ball. Jeremy Guthrie's over there going, wow, there are actually 4 runs in a ball game, and I'm pitching.
And not only 4 runs, a 4-0 lead. Now we saw, though, again, he paid attention Friday night. Ekabauskas had a 4-0 lead. You know, you mentioned, I mean, it's not only are they leading the league in National League in runs scored this year, they did it last year too. Not a mirage.
No. 91 win season last year, division title. Postseason swept by the Phillies in the division.
It's not a good idea to get no hit in the first division game like Roy Halladay did to him.
Pitch rode in on him, and Reynolds will foul that away. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Mark. Mark is now 7th in the league in walks, 3rd in the league in strikeouts, and among third basemen, one of the leaders in about every offensive category. He's up among the top 3. And he reached for that one and fouls it back as Bailey reached back and tried to get it by him. Mark came into this series among third basemen, tied with A-Rod for homers, 5th in runs, 6th in RBIs, and 4th in OPS. The on-base plus slugging percentage number. 1-2 delivery to him. Reynolds will take that one in the air to left center field. They're watching. Way back in. Goodbye. Home run. Reynolds gets the dinger, and it is 5-0.
Five home runs in the last 17 games. Little slider, cutter in the middle of the plate, and it gets launched. So now you had 44 home runs in the National League a couple of years ago for the Diamondbacks. Pretty much of how far is this going to go?
Well, the Orioles get to Bailey, who had surrendered just 3 home runs coming into this ball game, and he's given up 2 in this inning. And Reynolds gives the Orioles a 5-0 lead, 5 runs on 6 hits. And boy, what a series this has been for the long ball, and it continues here in this Sunday afternoon. Pitch will be swung on and missed by Blake Davis. A lot of smiles over there as the home run hitters in the inning sit together. Lee and Reynolds, and the one who appreciates it the most right next to them, Guthrie. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Davis is 2 for 2 in the ball game with a run scored. The Orioles trying to add to it, maybe get the starter out early. Take a look at our PNC minor league report. The minor league report is brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. LJ Ho's Bowie, you see the numbers that have been put up since being promoted to Double-A. 27 games, 27 hits. On base percentage good, 5 doubles, and 10 RBI in that limited number of games. Our PNC minor league look.
Yeah, Brian Price, the pitching coach for Dusty Baker's Reds, out to have a little talk. Nice approach by Blake Davis. So you have the 2 home run guys sitting next to each other. Guthrie going 5. I like this.
Reynolds has 38 RBIs now to go along with the 14 home runs. With the 14, he moves ahead of Adam Jones for the team lead in homers. Orioles are getting out of Reynolds just about exactly what they had hoped for.
Yep. I mean, 241 lifetime batting average, but even then he always hit better with runners in scoring position, which he's done all year long. And then you're getting a guy that didn't look like he hit for a lot of power that all of a sudden is about as hot as anybody.
Strikeouts are down, walks are up, a little better D at third base, and it's pretty much perfect. Here is Tatum. He drew a walk his first time up. Bailey gets the pitch on the inside corner for the strike. Times through the batting order. You see the 165 average. The Orioles are jumping ahead of themselves, though, by those numbers. These are the kind of things that usually happen the third time through. 0-2 pitch, and Tatum is gone.
And I am sure that Brian Price, we first saw him when he was up with the Mariners. He came out, their pitching coach, and said, just get back, even though it's 5-0, to making quality pitches. And that's exactly what this slider. This is the slider he threw the first time. And the second time through the order, stuff hasn't been that sharp. And there is nothing in his rehab starts that would indicate that he was going to be good today, because he did not pitch well in the minor leagues coming back from the shoulder strain. 23 hits in 13 and a third innings. Jose Arredondo gave up the home run to Derek Lee, the walk-off on Friday night, so he's up getting loose. So an ERA of over 6 runs a game down at AAA.
Throw back to get Davis back to the bag. He has stolen a base on a hit and run. He got a stolen base earlier in the ball game. Hardy's 0 for 2 in the game. He has popped out twice. A 7-game hit streak for him. Swung out and missed as Bailey throttles back a bit on it and gets ahead on the count. J.J. Hardy in June among the American League rankings offensively. He is tied for second in homers, second in hits, second in total bases, third in runs, fifth in batting average, and third in slugging this month. That one is going to go to shallow right. Phillips is back, and he's got it. But the Orioles add on here a 3 RBI homer picked up by Lee, and then the solo shot 14th of the year. That came off the bat of Reynolds and Guthrie, and the Orioles have a 5-0 edge. To you by AT&T, rethink possible, and by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. With Jim Palmer, I'm Gary Thorne here at Camden Yards. The Orioles looking to take this series summer day in the Inner Harbor. And here at the ballpark. 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Orioles. They've left 2. The Reds, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. Bunting to get on, and a foul ball. Leadoff batter, Heisey, who is lined out and popped out.
Yeah, not a bad play, especially you will bring Mark Reynolds in a couple of steps. You want to always do it 0-0, unless you're Rod Carew or some of the great bunters, Robbie Alomar, people like that, on the way to the Hall of Fame. Well, yeah, because you can do it early on, and you can control the ball. But even if your intention is only to do it once, at least you bring the guy in and have a better chance to hit it by him. And if you look at the scoreboard, they need base runners.
Heisey is 2 for 12 in the series. Guthrie has walked only 1 and struck out 4 in his first appearance against the Cincinnati Reds. Jeremy coming in with that 3.79 ERA. Hasn't hurt it. Tied for 4th in the fewest innings, and Guthrie's only given up 1 in this one. That'll be fouled away. Jeremy retires 72% of leadoff batters, and in this ball game only 1 has reached base leading off through the first 4 innings.
Yeah, big inning for him here. Again, that shutdown inning, you always talk about it. Your team puts 4 runs on the board. The momentum is for you again, 3rd time through the order. Get them out. Let your guys grab their bats. Put some more runs on the scoreboard.
2-2 delivery, put in the air to left center field. Luke Scott. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Did you know last night the Orioles hit a season-high 4 home runs, but of course that's not all of it. The Orioles' record for home runs in a game is 7. Twice, 85 at California and 67 at Fenway. They were flying last night. Here in this ball game, the Orioles have taken advantage of it with 2 more homers. Here's Brandon Phillips. He'll go after it, drive it to center field deep. Jones just turned around and ran, and that ball is gone. Goodbye home run. Here we go again. That'll put him on the board. Phillips gets the homer, his 2nd hit of the ball game, and that'll put him on the board for the first time.
Yeah, first time in 4 games that Jeremy Guthrie has given up a home run. So again, one of the keys, put it on the ground. Fastball right down the middle. And Brandon Phillips does the rest. I think it's going to be a double. Doubles go to be home runs in this ballpark.
Phillips gets his 6th home run, his first of this series. And it is a 5-1 ball game for Jeremy Guthrie. 13th home run surrendered. Pitch will be taken inside by Joey Votto. Votto has walked and struck out. Reigning MVP, putting up MVP numbers again. 4th in average coming into the ball game. He is 10th in RBIs, leads the league in walks and on base percentage, and average with runners in scoring position, and best average against left-handed pitchers. Taking all the way, 3-1.
Yep, and I tell you what, a pretty honest guy. Said 2 extra base hits in the last 13-14 games. He said it wasn't the pitching, it was me. Needed to make some adjustments. Right there, he makes an adjustment. They need base runners, and with a 5-1 lead, we saw Jeremy pitch around him in the first inning. Great stuff, struggling with his command, but a 5-1 lead, not a good idea, because it does allow with 1 swing for them to get right back in this game.
So 2 walks have been surrendered by Guthrie, and Joey Votto has picked up both of those to add to his league leading total. He's now got 60 free passes. Here is Gomes, a home run threat, and a strike on the outside corner. He has reached on an error and been called out on strikes. 1 down, 5th inning. Phillips with a 1-out homer, getting the Reds on the board for the first time. Oriole pitchers have now surrendered 89 home runs on the year. Cincinnati pitchers 86. Both of these staffs at the unenviable top of their respective leagues in surrendering homers. And both play in ballparks where
conducive to home runs. Yep. If you throw fly balls.
Yep.
Jeremy's ground ball to fly ball ratio, fly ball to ground ball ratio, I guess, has gone up. I mean, it used to be well over 54% of the time. 2 years ago he was 45. This year he's 45%. So more balls in the air, and again in this ballpark, in this weather, that could lead to trouble.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Lee thought he might have had him. Had Votto kind of half stepping to extend his lead when the throw came over, as Guthrie got it there in a hurry. Not so. Ilden Culbreth, the first base umpire. Guthrie with a 1-2. Johnny Gomes will foul that one back. Been a fun series for fans to watch if you like offense. And there's been plenty of that. Cincinnati came in with a .294 average in the series. The Orioles .267. And then, of course, all the home runs we have seen. There have been 6 hit by the Reds in this series, and the Orioles now have 8. Both teams putting up some big offenses. Cincinnati team now, they've had 3 consecutive interleague games in which they've had 12 or more hits. They have picked up only 4 so far off Guthrie. 1-2 delivery. That'll be outside. 2-2.
Yeah, he's tried in. Gomes keeps pulling it foul. He's trying to figure out some way, third time through the order, how he can stay away from his power. Middle in.
Pretty good lead at first. 2-2, runner not going, and the pitch is taken down low. So he gives the full house 3-2 on Gomes. Looking over to third is Votto to get the sign here, and whether or not he'll be running. Johnny Gomes has not grounded into a double play this year. Runner not going, and it's outside. So Guthrie surrenders the walk. That's 3, and they are back-to-back walks here in the 5th inning. This day in baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios and network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/getFios. It's a tough day. June 26, 1916, 3 fans were arrested because they kept the baseballs that were hit into the stands. They were charged with petty larceny. In 1970, Frank Robinson, grand slams, 2 of them, consecutive innings, 7th major league player to have 2 grand slams in a game. And in 1985, an umpire ejected the organist in a Class A game for playing 3 blind mice after a close call that the locals didn't agree with.
He was paying attention.
That organist became famous and actually went on tour signing autographs. 3 blind mice. True story. That's a true story. I thought that was pretty good. The tough days throwing organists out of the ballpark. Was it Jack Russell Stadium?
No, that's in Clearwater.
The Class A game, yeah. The Clearwater Phillies were involved, and the umpire didn't like the 3 blind mice on. There's a fly ball to center. Backing up for it, Adam Jones. Fred Lewis's fly ball will be handled. And throw again will come in behind the runner.
Well,
Jones
that's a wise
has been
play.
doing that here in this series.
Well, it's a wise play because, first of all, you really don't care if Votto goes from second to third, but you do care in a 5-1 game if the runner at first goes in. So, again, he's trying to think, and right here he fakes him, and Adam goes, I'm not falling for that. I care about getting another runner in scoring position, so it's the wise play to make.
So runners at first and second base still. Now there are 2 down.
You don't subjugate your ego. You go, I'm going to show you my arm, and then you throw one to third. All of a sudden, 1 base hit scores 2 guys, and Buck Showalter wouldn't have been very happy. Guthrie wouldn't have been happy.
Jones wouldn't have been happy.
No.
And that one will go into the seats. This is Stubbs, who has singled and popped out. Guthrie with a chance to get out of another inning with a couple on base. Reds have had opportunities. They have left 6 so far, 2 on in each of the first 2 innings. Guthrie has been able to find the big outs. Stubbs only 228 with runners in scoring position. Will take that pitch for a strike, and he's behind on the count, 0-2.
You've mentioned it early. It's a pretty ample strike zone, very consistent. Alan Porter, that's his strike zone. Pitchers and hitters living with it. So right here, can Jeremy put him away? Make a good pitch.
0-2, and that hitting on the bat, I guess. It's a foul ball.
Okay, you run him off the plate, up and in. There's the numbers you were talking about. 0 for 6 now with runners in scoring position. They came in at 271. Orioles doing a better job this afternoon.
Both of these teams are second in their respective leagues with that runner in scoring position average.
Yeah, they averaged 4.8 runs a game coming in. The Orioles at 4.1, so about 3/4 of a run a game over the first 74 or 5 games.
Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Stubbs is gone, and Guthrie's got his first strikeout. A good inning. Brandon Phillips delivered the home run in the inning to get Cincinnati on the board, but that would be it. 2 are left on. It is a 5-1 O's lead. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer back. Jeremy Guthrie looks like he's on today.
Well, he's pitched out of 3 jams. I mean, really good stuff. Best we've seen since that opening series down in Tampa Bay. Again, this is what you want. Not only from Jeremy, you want the offense to do well. You know, you got a couple of home runs, 3-run home run by Derek Lee made a big difference. But this is an important game. You're 6 under 500. You're playing a team, as you mentioned, Gary, that last year they won their division. But they're used to winning this game. The Orioles are, what, 3-6 in series finals? A chance to win that rubber game. And you got St. Louis coming in, who've been struggling without Pujols. But again, this is a huge win for him. But again, he's got 94 pitches when we talk about Jeremy. Probably one more inning, then you'll be going to your bullpen.
And the Orioles trying to get Homer Bailey, the starter, out coming off the DL. They got to him early here, and you got to believe he's on a short rein right now.
Yeah, and he's coming off a rehab. So again, you know, he made the one really bad pitch to Derek Lee. 3 quick runs, and then Mark Reynolds, he's doing what he's been doing. Made a mistake in the middle of the plate for another home run.
Nick Markakis at RBI in the ball game on the 1 for 2, and the delivery will be taken away for a ball. Nick has had the 2-out RBI in the ball game after all the home run RBIs that we've seen piled up here in this game. And Markakis will take that one. That's going to be on the outside corner to Nick. 1 for 2 in the game. Of course, his hit streak extended with a single to 16 games now. So Nick is one shy of his career high 17-game hit streak, which he has done twice. He has the longest hit streak for the Orioles this season already.
And that early season slump, the lack of power, thing of the past. And you guys were talking about the fact he was choking up. I was sitting the other day, I'm thinking probably about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, a guy that Dusty Baker, who manages the Reds, had in San Francisco. The last really good hitter that choked up, Barry Bonds. He'd get way up on that bat. Better bat control, get the good part of the bat to the ball.
And most of the home runs, it didn't count. A 3-ball, 2-strike count on Nick Markakis.
But even before.
No. Probably the game's, what's so sad about that is probably the game's best hitter of his time.
Yep.
And would have been with or without
Well, we would have gotten the Hall of Fame
if
with
in
that.
fact he used them. That'll go to center field, and that's going to fall in, and Nick's got another base hit. So Markakis with a leadoff single, and he is 2 for 3 in the ballgame. Entertaining clients, colleagues, and more. Great custom suite package available here at Camden Yards. Private suites at various locations and packages at different prices. A sophisticated way to see a ball game. Find out more or get a private tour. You can call 410-547-6076 for a tour. Markakis on at first. Orioles have their 8th hit. 5 runs on 8. Orioles 2 errors. Reds 1-4-0. That's going to be down the line. Adam Jones jumped on that one. Markakis heading to third base. Lewis will make the throw in. Jones going to second. Stand-up double.
Awfully quick bat speed right there. Homer Bailey comes in. What's this bat? The barrel of the bat. That's what hitting's all about. Get to the ball. And then again, play in front of you. You got above average speed. Nick Markakis easily in the third base on the double by Adam Jones.
So they will get this bullpen ready. Our Dodge Ram Exmo brought to you by Ram Trucks. Designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. Arredondo up for the second time in the bullpen for the Reds. And now it's just trying to draw some time to let him get warmed up again, as Bailey clearly now the bats are on him. 5 runs on 9 hits in the game. For Adam Jones, his 24th multi-hit ball game, 17th in which he's had 2 hits. And for Nick Markakis, it is his 21st multi-hit game, the 13th in which he has had 2 hits.
And Homer Bailey, struck out the side in the second. Got 5 on the afternoon. He's looking for a strikeout here. Whether he'll be able to get it again the third time through the order is a whole nother issue.
Nobody out, infield in, bounces away. Hernandez will hold the runner. Vladimir Guerrero slapped a single and scored in the 4th inning and has struck out. So Vladdy gets the chance here to extend the Orioles lead. Orioles putting up chance today here for some big offensive numbers.
Well, again, the right play is to try to hit something to the right side, hit the ball the other way, and
not pop it up. That's what he didn't want to do. Phillips is coming over again. Votto will take it this time. He saw it. He had not been able to see a couple, so Phillips moved over to help just in case. Here comes Lee. Mr. Lee has done some walking in this one.
Yeah, looking in, gets it in, and then it disappears. 3-run shot into the left center field fences, and again the game winner in the 12th inning on Friday night. Pretty good series.
And a ground ball with the runner coming home. Play by Yanish to the plate. Hernandez is there and gets the out easily on Nick Markakis. They'd already decided he would go on contact, and he did, and it went right to the shortstop.
Yeah, pitcher's pitch on the first pitch. Slider right in the middle of the plate. Watch him chase it. Had to reach for it. I'm sure his intentions, get the ball in the air. Alan Porter's going, well, he may have tagged him up on the knee and the foot could have been in, but the throw beat him so much, I'm going to call him out.
This is an inning where the Orioles, if there are innings where you must score when you get runners at second and third and nobody out. But Bailey's got a chance to prevent that. Runners at first and second and 2 down, and here's Luke Scott, who has struck out twice. And Bailey's pitch will be outside for a ball.
Well, just again going back to our scouting report for Homer Bailey, a piece of the puzzle. I mean, this is what you like to see, getting knocked around a little bit. 3-run home run, solo home run just an inning ago, and then single double. And he's got a chance, if he can get Luke Scott out, to get out of the inning. Boy, that's huge if you're a pitching coach or manager.
Bailey, the DL returnee for this game, giving up more runs and hits in this ball game than he had in his other starts, but he's only had 6 total starts this season. 2-0 count with 2 down. Jones had to stay at second base. No chance to advance to third on that play at the plate. Lee is on at first with the fielder's choice.
So here's your fastball count. Even if he doesn't throw it, you can look for it. But again, what Luke's done today is chase out of the zone. When he's hot, he doesn't do that.
2-0 delivery to him. That'll be bounced. And the count goes to 3-0 on Scott. So Hernandez will go out and talk to Bailey. Luke Scott with 2 down and a 3-0 count, and Reynolds, who's delivered a home run, waiting on deck.
Yeah, Dusty Baker talking to his pitching coach Brian Price, saying, wait a minute, he struck this guy out twice. The guy on deck hit a home run, but this is what happens when you get behind. You're thinking, oh, Mike, one more out, I'm all right, even though I'm trailing by 4, and now all of a sudden. I think last year he's probably swinging 3-0. This year with the shoulder injury, Luke Scott, I don't think he'll be hacking here, not with Reynolds on deck.
Here's the 3-0, taken all the way, and he walked him on 4 strike. Orioles will take that. Only the second walk by Bailey in the ball game. Reynolds coming up, bases loaded. Our Coors Light cold hard blast.
Was it ever blasted?
Reynolds getting the homer, 14, solo shot. Cold hard blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Now the base is loaded. Jones a double, lead runner. Fielder's choice Lee at second, Scott the walk. And Mark Reynolds with 2 down. First ball after it and a strike. This is an at-bat with a chance to blow the doors off with a 5-1 lead.
Well, if you're Homer Bailey, you go back and look at your at-bats. Popped him up on a fastball, slider for a home run. I don't know if I'm going to speed up his bat here. And there's 2 fastballs at 92, 94.
Reynolds has gone 1 for 3, including the grand slam on that one hit this season. The Orioles have had 3 grand slams on the year. 1-1 delivery, and that is the difference in Reynolds right there. 2 pitches at least one of those 2 in the last 3 years he would have gone out.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that credit goes to Jim Presley, who came over and said, boy, you guys were talking about it on Friday night, you and Mike Flanagan, just hey, lay off the pitcher's pitch early on.
Popped him up. First base, Joey Votto. And he's got it. And Bailey finds a way to get out of it. No runs on a couple of hits, including the first 2 getting on. It remains 5-1-0. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Thursday, first 10,000 fans 15 and over will get the J.J. Hardy Orioles t-shirt presented by Real Street Staffing. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. And to the t-shirt wardrobe. J.J. Hardy. Ramon Hernandez. Hernandez against his former team, a .252 hitter with 5 home runs. Lifetime against the Orioles. Hernandez has reached on an error and struck out in this one, 2 for 6 in the 2 games he's appeared in. And Guthrie gets him to go after a ball away. Strike 1.
Yeah, the good old slider. Boy, when I first got an A ball, they'd go, that's the difference. As you come up the ladder, you throw more sliders in high A, double A, triple A, big leagues. Now, of course, it's the cut fastball. Splitter, more of those.
Inside. Did he go? No.
So that is now 96 pitches. He's probably got 110, 115 in him. Again, a pleasant afternoon here, especially when you get 5 runs and you get them fairly early.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Guthrie rebounding off a ball game against Pittsburgh in which he gave up a season high 11 hits in that game, giving up 6 runs, 5 earned on those 11 hits in 6 1/3 innings.
Just didn't have that extra zip, couldn't get his breaking ball over. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the Pirates have now won 4 in a row, 2 against the Orioles, 2 against the Red Sox. There's some guys that can swing the bat. A lot of good young hitters that are good fastball hitters. So if you don't get your other stuff over, they're a tough team to get out.
1-2 delivery is going to miss outside. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Guthrie trying to maintain a 5-1 lead. We are in the 6th inning. This is the rubber match of this 3-game set. Orioles losing 10-5 last night after the opener 5-4 win. Hardy at short. One down in the 6th inning. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report will return tomorrow, 5:30 right here on MASN. You can join Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin, Phil Wood, all the topics around Major League Baseball. And you know Davey Johnson will be one of those topics going to the Nationals. Check it out, 5:30 right here on MASN. Official announcement made today, if you missed it earlier, that Davey will take over and be the manager for at least the rest of this year, and a 3-year deal to either stay in that position or be working somewhere else in the organization. Miguel Cairo.
If I'm going to be a consultant, I want to either be consulting Steven Strasburg when he makes his comeback from the Tommy John, or we're working with Bryce Harper.
That is hit hard towards the corner. It'll take a hop. Scott there to play it on his way to second base is Cairo. He goes in with a stand-up double.
Yeah, those are the 2 young players with the Nats I want to consult with.
Or manage. They can make you a very good manager.
Yeah, that they could. Yep. Again, veteran hitter, not a good pitch. Looking fastball when you're throwing in the mid-90s, and Jeremy's been there. That's what you're going to hit off. In other words, that's going to be your basis. So he's looking fastball, gets one, and that's what Miguel Cairo does. Doesn't hit a lot of home runs.
That'll go to short. Hardy. Back to the bag is Cairo, and Giannis is retired. Speaking of the Red Sox, some east winds blowing. Red Sox have lost 4 in a row. They're 5-6 in interleague games. Really missing the bat of Ortiz as he has to sit and watch. Derek Jeter not cleared to do anything. Can't swing, can't field, can't run. He's just playing catch. For the Blue Jays, their third base prospect, Brett Lowry, manager saying not close to returning with that broken left hand. And the Tampa Bay bullpen, 3.6 ERA in 187 innings. Their starters are giving the bullpen a break. Second fewest innings for a pen for Tampa Bay. Well, when you got guys throwing complete games 3-4 times in a row like Shields, I guess you don't need a bullpen.
Yeah, he's 3 for his last 3. You know, David Price goes deep. You know, even Wade Davis, a young pitcher. So they have some guys that, as they did last year.
Heisey inside loop. That's going to be a base hit. Making the turn is Cairo. He will score. There's a big 2-out RBI. Heisey comes through with his first hit of the day, and it makes it a 5-2 ball game.
Yeah, because you know that Jeremy Guthrie with his pitch count at 104 is not long for this game. So again, another ball in the middle of the plate. Cairo in the middle of the plate. I mean, not a horrible pitch, but again, it's a lot easier to get to that pitch than something away or in off your fist, and he just fights it off for a base scoring single. Rapato's getting up for Joey Votto.
That's a good thing to get up for.
Yeah, well, because he's on deck. Phillips coming into the plate.
Leading hitter against left-handers.
Well, I don't. But that's what Clay does.
I know.
He doesn't get righties out very well.
Here's Brandon Phillips up. Orioles hope they won't have to go there, as there are 2 down here in the 6th inning. Heisey continues his hit streak to 4 games with that base hit, and the RBI is 29th of the year. Now Brandon Phillips has already had 1 home run, his 6th. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's got a 6-game hit streak going and hitting at .292 in the year. Breaking ball that doesn't, and the count goes to 2-0.
And again, when you get tired, you don't stay on top of that breaking ball. It's easy to get under it. That slider just stays up. Well, again, if you're Jeremy Guthrie, the Orioles have the 11th highest ERA out of their bullpen. You want to get to them later, not early. There's a good pitch.
Recovery pitch right there, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, that was pitched behind slider. Throw a strike. Phillips was looking fastball and takes it.
Brandon Phillips has picked up 12 hits in 26 at bats during the hit streak he's in, the 6-game hit streak. And he's got a hot bat. Runner at first base, 2 down, and that will be inside. And the count goes to 3-1. So Jeremy Guthrie looking for the final out and probably facing the last red in this ball game if he doesn't get Phillips. Guthrie after his 3rd win of the year. Orioles have the 5-2 lead, but the Reds threatening. And he walked him. So that'll be it for Guthrie, I would think. That's 4 walks that he has surrendered, and 3 of those have come in the last 2 innings, and Buck Showalter is on his way out. So Guthrie will leave the game. He will leave with a chance to be the winner, and a very big bat coming up, as Joey Votto is going to come to the plate representing the potential tying run in this game against the left-hander out of the Orioles pen. Now hoping that Rapata can get the job done, protect the lead, and his chance to win.
So that's what he does. He comes in to try to get lefties out. Only 4 for 34 against, as you mentioned, a guy that hit a 3-run home run off a left-hander, Brian Mattis, yesterday. And you get a little bit different look here because Clay Rapata is a side armor, but again, also a guy against lefties has the best batting average in the National League. So it will be a challenge. 3 of his 11 home runs, 367 against lefties. So if you're Dusty Baker, you were down 5-0. You kind of like this.
You're right where you want it to be.
Yep.
Here's Joey Votto. Votto has walked twice and struck out. Runners at first and second. A run in the inning. There are 2 down. And the pitch is inside to Votto. Against left-handers for Rapata, as Jim said, the 4 for 34. He's walked only 2 lefties while striking out 12. He's been effective, but boy, this is the toughest challenge you can have right here. Went for the outside part of the plate and missed it. He thought he caught it. Not happy with the call. 2-0.
Yeah, a little knee buckle right there. And Jeremy Guthrie, of course, he's gone, so it's pretty much up to your bullpen. And again, boy, Paul O'Neill, who lives in Cincinnati, won a batting title for the Yankees. He said that's the pitch you lay off of, and that's exactly what Joey Votto did.
And another one that misses, and the count goes to 3-0.
And I'm sure Joey Votto has had conversations with a lot of good left-handed hitters, and what Mattingly taught him as we look at Jim Johnson, who's been getting a lot of work, is that the breaking ball at you is the one you hit early in the count. You lay off the other one.
3-0 delivery on the way. Votto's taking all the way. It is in there for a strike. Rapata gets it in, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Icy delivered the single. And an RBI. He's on at second base. Phillips got the walk. He's on at first. And now Joey Votto with a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
And for the trouble for Votto, he can hit the ball anywhere.
And Votto down to first. Just missed the bag.
You can see how quick a bat he has. I mean, again, we can talk so much about how lefties like the ball down and in. He likes it there. He likes it out up over the plate. He had a fastball for a home run last night, hit a curveball that ended up in the middle of the plate. But down and in exceptionally quick.
Runners will go 3-2, 2 down, and he walked him, and they're loaded. So the Reds battling here in the 6th inning. Buck Showalter will come back out. Rapata, no part of an inning, surrenders the walk and will give way to Jim Johnson, who is going to have to face a hot-hitting power hitter in Gomes, the designated hitter who is due up. So big inning here. The Orioles still have the 5-2 lead. A little tenuous at the moment as Rapata talks to the home plate umpire on the way by.
Yeah, 2 innings on Friday night, so he has to come back again, not even a full 48 hours of rest, but again, lights out. Look at the numbers. ERA has dropped 4 runs in his last 31 innings, so ERA over 5 runs all the way down into the low 2s. And again, if you've had a chance to see him, he can be overpowering. Sinker ball with a big curve ball and a good changeup. And Gomes only faced him 1 time, 0 for 1.
Leads American League relievers in innings pitched at 45 for Jim Johnson. Bases are loaded. Heisey, Phillips, and Votto. And the cleanup batter Gomes stands in. He has struck out Reese on an error and walked in the game. 2 down. Outside to him for a ball. A very dangerous situation, obviously, for the Orioles. Gomes has delivered a home run in this series. A couple of hits in 9 at bats. The homer being the only RBI he's picked up. Here's the 1-0 delivery by Johnson. And that will be a strike call. Gomes can't believe it. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, that's a late call. Clay Rapata thought he had a pitch or two against Votto. That ball at 96. Gomes, of course, wants to hit 2-0, not 1-1. Nicely presented to Alan Porter, the home plate umpire, by Craig Tatum. Framed him.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. That's way outside. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
And what happens, even if you're a sinker baller, when you pitch a lot of innings, you still have to be able to stay back and get your arm out in front of you. And when your arm's a little bit tired, that's harder to do. It's harder to find that rhythm. Starting pitchers, they have a chance to kind of work their way into it. Relievers, not with the bases loaded. And that
3-1.
So again, it's not about velocity. 96-97.
Great strikeout ratio to walks, 31-6 for Jim Johnson coming in. But he's fallen behind on Gomes. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 down. As the Reds have the homer by Phillips in the last inning, a single by Heisey for an RBI in this one. Here's the 3-1, and he walked in a run. Johnson comes on, surrenders the bases loaded walk. Heisey will score. It is now a 5-3 game.
Again, you want him to call it. Curveball, ball 1. There's the borderline pitch. Pulled it off the plate. This one again thrown well, but just off the plate, and that one just misses. And Rick Adair coming out, the Royal pitching coach.
The bases now remain loaded. Fred Lewis will be coming up against Johnson with 2 down. A long, tough inning so far for the Oriole pitchers.
Well, again, Cincinnati, as you mentioned, it's not just the fact they lead the league in runs, good on-base percentage. They forced Guthrie to throw 26 pitches in the first inning. He lost his command. First time he has walked more than 3 all year long. 4 walks, the season high. And that pitch can't get him out of the game, and then it's up to your bullpen.
For Jim Johnson this year, he's been able to get the big outs. And he needs one right here, and he'll miss with that outside on Fred Lewis. Lewis has struck out, popped out, and flied out to center. Well, the inning rolls on for Johnson. 235 lefties, 250 right-handers, 3 home runs, 2 by lefties. And he's just not close here, and he'll fall behind 2-0.
Well, the big question, again, when your bullpen, again, this is now 14 straight games. Your starters haven't gotten into the 7th inning. Jake Arrieta was the last pitcher to do that. Sooner or later, you get a little bit fatigued. And for JJ, it's usually about command. So Lewis ought to get a pretty good pitch to hit here.
That misses, and the count goes to 3-0.
So again, 98, 96, 97, but can you find your arm slot? And apparently not. Because Jim Johnson will be the first guy to tell you, I don't always know where it's going to go, so I usually pretty much throw it for the middle of the plate and hope that it's a strike, and the natural movement will make it a quality pitch.
Here's the 3-0. It's taken all the way, and it is in there for a strike. Reds have added 2 runs on the bases loaded walk to Gomes and the RBI single by Heisey. They're still loaded here in a 3-ball, 1-strike count, 2 down. Johnson delivers to Lewis, and he walks in another run.
Yeah, I think that was a strike. I think Alan Porter just missed it because it was a late breaking 2-seam fastball that came back and caught the inside quarter.
2 bases loaded walks, and we've got a 5-4 ball game. Home plate umpire Porter having a word with Buck Showalter, who is hollering out at him from the dugout. Wow. So that's it for Guthrie. The 4 runs that are on the board are charged to him. Bases remain loaded. And here is Stubbs, the speedster, with 2 down. And the potential tying runs now at third base. And that's inside for a ball. We have had 4 consecutive walks in this inning with 2 down. And now Showalter really going at it with Alan Porter, the home plate umpire. Showalter saying, watch the pitcher, not me, as he pointed out at the mound. 1-0 delivery, slow roller. Hardy's got it forced at second, and that will retire the side. But the Cincinnati Reds batted around in the inning as they picked up 3 big runs and have made this a 1-run game. Sixth inning, time for our Coors Light freeze cam. Jones getting one of the unusual hits of this game. Nobody could find it. Bailey tried, couldn't get it. Base hit, Adam Jones. Our Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Homer Bailey, the starter, out of the ball game. And to the bullpen go the Reds, and Arredondo will come on to pitch.
Yeah, he can be awfully good when he's on. Tommy John surgery saddled him for last season. We saw him when he was with the Angels. Had some outstanding, or at least one outstanding season, 10-2 back in 2008. An ERA of under 2 runs a game, hard thrower.
And Davis will lead it off against him. Blake Davis. Arredondo surrendering the home run to Lee, the walk-off homer in the 12-inning ball game Friday. Davis 2 singles, a run scored. Up high to him, 2-0.
Yeah, when he came up with the Angels, he would be in the mid-90s. So kind of interesting to see starting pitcher when he first started, which is what you usually do. See if he's got 2 or 3 or 4 pitches that he can get over.
Taken for a strike. Both of these bullpens are taxed in light of the 12-inning ball game, and then having to be used in game 2 as well. Looked like it was away, called strike. Arredondo with a 2-1 delivery. Davis will take it, and that misses 3-1.
Well, the strike zone has changed, and again, Alan Porter had called a pretty good game, a little ample strike zone, and then there were some close pitches. Obviously, it's an emotional time, and you had a 5-0 lead, now 5-4.
And that's a strike, and it's 3-2.
And of course, the fans are very much into it here.
They went at it between innings, they being the home plate umpire, Alan Porter, and the Orioles manager, Buck Showalter. And there's a leadoff walk. The Orioles obviously needing some runs here the way this ball game is going. Our Hankook Tires game flow sponsored by Hankook Tires. Be one with it. Hankook Tires. And it has been about an ebb and flow in this one. The Orioles jumping out to the big lead 5-0 before the Reds got on the board with a homer in the 5th inning by Bailey. But then the 6th inning, 3 runs in, and suddenly it is a 5-4 game. Here's Tatum doing the catching today. Tatum has drawn a walk and struck out. For Bailey, 5 innings, 5 runs on 9 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 5, giving up the home run to Reynolds and the other to Lee. Bunt shown. up high with it.
But the most important inning, and that could be for not only Homer Bailey, he will not get a chance to win, but could lose, I suppose. But when he had the single double in the 5th inning to get out of that inning, it gave them hope. Talking about the Reds.
Orioles left the bases loaded in the inning.
Yeah, first and or second and third and nobody out, couldn't score. So huge inning.
See if Tatum means it. Willie Randolph giving the signs from third base. Davis looking over. Whether or not he'll try and lay down a bunt. He has no sacrifices this year, but only 18 at bats coming into the ball game. Well, you wanted to take that ball the other way and that into right field between first and second.
Rather unusual swing.
Just did not get a good cut at it, and it's 1-1.
Well, you watched Chris Heisey dump one over second base for an RBI single just last inning, or actually at the top of this inning.
Bottom of the 6th here at Camden Yards, and another grinded out ball game for these two teams. Yesterday's game was, even though it ended up being 10-5, it was a close ball game till the Reds were able to get the late inning runs in the 7th and 8th. They had 2 runs in each of those innings to put it away. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Now he shows bunt, drops it. It's a good one. Hernandez will go to Phillips, who is covering, and a sacrifice for Tatum.
Big league ball right there. You don't get to play a lot. They ask you to bunt. You could see the bat head out in fair territory. Good way to keep the ball fair. So many guys bunt with a bad head behind the plate, and almost impossible to lay down a bunt. So a nice situational hitting or bunting, whatever you want to call it.
So the Orioles will try and get one of those runs back as Hardy will come to the plate. Hernandez and Arredondo conferring. Now the shortstop Yanish will come in, so he knows what's being thrown here for positioning purposes. This is the rubber match here. The Orioles trying to get a series win, take 2 out of 3 against the Reds before the day off tomorrow, and the Cardinals on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Orioles looking for their 10th series win of the year. Hardy. Right off the cue shot into the bat. Checks to make sure he didn't splinter it, and a 1-strike count. J.J. Hardy leading the major league in shortstop and homers with 8 on base percentage and slugging percentage. Pumping up the home runs, as we told you, this month. That's going to get away. And the runner goes to third. And another way to score created as Hernandez couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that obviously going to be a wild pitch. It's a ball that Ramon, because we saw him play here, I don't know, 230 times, and it's outside. But that's the ball. If you move at all, you put leather on, and it just gets by him. Big break for the O's. They'll probably play their infield halfway or in.
So now Davis at third base. The infield's drawn all the way in, and Hardy with a 1-1. Just trying to jump on it. 1 and 2.
Yeah, looking for a ball to get in the air. Perfect pitch to do it, but Arredondo, Jose, with a little bit better stuff there. 92. But well-intentioned swing.
Hardy's been delivering big RBIs for the Orioles this month, along with the homers. That'll be fouled off outside of third base, and the battle goes on with the count at 1 and 2.
Even Friday night, he got the 4th run in, a little kind of broken bat, fight it off, dumped it into right field to give the Orioles the 4-0 lead. And eventually they would squander that, but win it in 12, 5-4.
Hardy for 3 with 3 pop-ups in the game. Here's the 1-2 delivery, taken outside. He moved into that leadoff spot a bit reluctantly, and they've not been able to move him out of it. He's hitting .368 since moving into the leadoff spot. 6 home runs and 13 RBIs as a leadoff batter. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and that ball's going to be popped up again. Cairo. reaching, and he's got it. Cairo makes the catch for a very big second out.
That's where you want the home field advantage, just to knock his glove off the minute he gets over and out of the field of play. But you have a couple of kids there, and only large adults by the railing here at Camden Yards. Nice play by Miguel Cairo.
What a day for Hardy. I mean, 4 pop-ups. 2 to second, 1 to first, and 1 to third. He's gone around the infield. Now with 2 down, they back up in the infield. Here's Marquegas. Nick has delivered an RBI with 2 down. That was in the 3rd inning. He's also picked up a single. It came in the 5th, 2 for 3 in the game. He got 5 hits and 12 at bats in this series with 3 RBI. 1-0 count. Marquegas will take it. Marquegas has now upped his average to 275 on the year. The fans really getting on the home plate umpire on virtually every call. One ball, 1 strike delivery. Fouled off, 1-2.
Yeah, there's a split-fingered fastball. So it's a 3-inning game. I mean, you got a 1-run lead. You have to outscore them or maintain this 1-run lead. And of course, Nick not thinking about anything but seeing the ball, not thinking about where his hands are. You know, am I staying in because he's been that hot?
Raised his average from 236 to 275 during this hit streak. 1-2 delivery, and he does it again. A big 2-out RBI single for Nick Marquegas, and it is 6-4.
Well, we talked about Joey Votto, MVP in the National League, how quickly he gets to the ball down and in. Nick, no exception. Right here, I mean, he just reacts to the ball right to the bat head, and again choking up.
Nick with 2 RBIs in the game, 30 on the year, and he's got a 3-hit ball game. Now here's Adam Jones. That wild pitch that allowed Davis to move up, very important, at least for the moment, in creating that run. A pitch out. Marquegas not going. Jones has a double, a single, and he is grounded out. Adam is now at 295 on the year. Arendondo's delivery to him. A speed pitch out ahead of it. 1-1. 27,809. 27,809 on hand. The announced attendance today. Big crowds. Fireworks night, of course, on Friday. 45,300. Last night, 38,900 plus, and 27,008 plus in this one. Foul back. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Both starters are still the pitchers of record. Guthrie, 4 runs, 6 hits, 5 2/3. For the Orioles, he walked 4, struck out 5. Jeremy looking for win number 3. 1-ball, 2-strike count. Runner goes. Taken, and that will be a stolen base. No throw made on the low pitch to Hernandez.
Yeah, Nick doesn't run a whole lot, and a great timing there. He pick a good pitch, he pick a breaking pitch. Arredondo kind of falls asleep. He's thinking more about getting Adam Jones out, and why not? If you get the out, the inning's over.
6 out of 7 for Nick in stealing bases. Jones another RBI chance. 2-2 delivery. Adam trying to keep up with Nick today with the 3-hit ball game that Marquegas has already put on the board. His 8th 3-hit game. Adam's got 2. Arredondo, 2-ball, 2-strike count. Those two can have big second halves. The Orioles will. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. and reached for it and just fouled it off.
Yeah, good pitch by Arredondo. Bad result because, again, Adam Jones, when he is hitting well, and he's in one of those hitting frames right now, he fouls that pitch off. Low and away slider. You could see him reach for it, but stays alive.
Real good shot of what we mean by a ball cued off the end of the bat right there. Markakis the lead at second. 2-2 delivery. Again outside. And a called strike. Jones cannot believe it.
Just don't get thrown out. And here comes Buck because still plenty of innings to play.
Adam is hot. July 24, 6 to 9. It's the 6th annual Bryant's Baseball Bash fundraising event at the University of Maryland Hospital for Children. It'll be at Dave & Buster's in the Arundel Mills Mall. Silent live auctions will be going on as well, and all the proceeds to benefit the kids at the hospital. To learn more, dial 410-328-3637. That's Sunday, July 24. Adam Jones saved, probably staying in the game because Buck Showalter came out.
And here's a breaking ball that he thought was a little bit outside, and maybe it was. Alan Porter didn't think so.
On we go, up the middle. Davis couldn't get out of the glove. Still almost got the out. Talk about slow. Well, Hernandez going down the line just barely made it, and he's on with an infield hit.
Yeah, if he can get the ball out of his glove, talking about Blake Davis, again, not hit too hard up on the trademark. As it turns out, maybe Hardy would have had a better angle. But again, anytime you get jammed a little bit, and Eric Davis, again, inexperienced at second base, hadn't played second base at all this year.
And Hardy went over and talked to him after the play and to say, you know, that's one, let me take that because I'm going in the right direction and you're not.
And unfortunately, that's just not something that you can figure out if you don't play a lot of second once the ball's hit. Too late.
So that is hit number 7 for the Reds. They get the potential tying run to the plate again. Miguel Cairo has doubled, singled, and flied out. Runner on at first base. We're in the 7th inning. Yanish, the number 9 hitter, on deck. Timeout taken at the plate as Cairo will mop the brow. A real tussle here in this ball game. Johnson on to work after coming on in the last inning, staying for this one, and a strike taken. 0-2 on Miguel Cairo.
Yeah, Miguel having a pretty nice afternoon. Good defensive plays at third, single double. We mentioned pro ball over 15 years, 9 teams.
Got 3 home runs, 14 RBIs, limited playing time. Takes the pitch inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count from Jim Johnson. Jim came on in that last inning and surrendered the 2 walks with the bases loaded to Gomes and Lewis, who got the bases loaded walks, then got the final out on Stubbs.
Yeah, he won a game for him 2-1 on a 2-run home run a week ago. He didn't get to play that much. Ooh, how do you lay out that? Well, you know, again, if you're a line drive hitter, it's a lot easier to take that pitch. Now, he's been up over 3,600 times in the big leagues, and he's got about 35 home runs. And that's what, 1 every 100 plus. So he's not a home run guy. He's a, I'm going to choke up. He used to split his hands. I'm going to make contact.
Jones has moved in and center about 3 steps, and he's gone with a strikeout.
Well, there you go. Move it over a little bit, and Jim Johnson does that. A couple of balls just off the edge last inning. And there you go, outside corner on the black. Perfect pitch.
Now another non-home run hitter. This is Paul Janisch, who, as you mentioned the other night, to the best of our knowledge, is the only position player without a home run in the league. Fouled off for a strike. Janisch hitting at 229. Johnson looking for the ground ball here to try and get the double play and get out of the 7th inning. Top of the order, Heisey on deck. Runner off first base, Hernandez up high for a ball. Orioles in this one got the lead in the 3rd. And they picked up the RBI by Markakis. They would add to it in the 4th inning. 4 runs and 5 hits, 3-run homer Lee, single shot by Reynolds, 5-0. And then the Reds battling back, picking up a run in the 5th, 3 more in the 6th, and have made it a 2-run ball game as the Orioles got one of those runs back in their half of the 6th inning on a Markakis single. Johnson with a 1-2 delivery. That's the 3rd. Reynolds has it. Runner back to first.
Looked like a point guard going up for a rebound. Dwayne Wade there. It almost seemed like it, again, the hardest thing for an infielder, time a ball, you don't know exactly how hard it's hit, so he's just waiting, and then he easily gets to it. There we go.
Now the top of the order. Here's Chris Heisey. Heisey singled his last time up and picked up an RBI, would also score in that 3-run 6th inning. He is lined out and popped out. 2 down. Heisey to the middle. Hardy got it. Play at second. Can't be handled by Davis. A tough play on a hopper, and everybody's safe.
Yeah, about the only way J.J. Hardy can make that play. No play at first. Again, a ball out over the plate. Heisey is going to get out of the box. So again, a little backhand, inexperience at second. You know, Brian Roberts, because I mean, this is why he's Brian Roberts, probably going to just take a little bit of half step back. I think what happens is the game speeds up when you're not used to playing there. We've seen it with Andino, and again Blake Davis and Buck Showalter will tell you about that. Very difficult to go from shortstop to second base. A lot easier to go the other way.
How about to go from the outfield to second?
That's even harder.
Where he'd been playing this year.
That's right. Well, again,
that's tough.
19 games in your whole career at second base.
Dangerous situation here. Here's Phillips. He's had a home run, single, a walk. He scored a run, driven in one. 6th home run of the year came in the 5th inning, a solo shot. And again, the Reds on the verge of getting this thing tied up or better from their point of view. Jim Johnson, a 1-0 count on him. Runners off first and second. Phillips, a ground ball back to the mound. Johnson's got it and gets the out. No runs, couple of hits, and 2 are left on. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Game 1. Zach Britton will take the mound against Kyle Loesch. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 6:30 with those extra, presented by Verizon 4G LTE, and our game coverage will begin at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. And back here at Camden Yards, the ongoing struggle. Two teams trying to get this rubber game under their belt. 6-4, the Orioles lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and now it's all up to two tired bullpens to see who's the last standing.
Well, that's really what it is. Dusty Baker quoted early in the week. He said, this is a funny game. No explanation to it. Sometimes it kind of goes in cycles. Sometimes you can score runs, at will. Other times you can't get anything. So, again, it's the same thing with your bullpen. Their bullpen is better than the Orioles. Probably a little bit better, well rested. You can kind of know what Buck Showalter's going to do. Is going to be Koji in the 8th, and then the master of chaos in the 9th inning, who's really Kevin Grave has been really pitching very well. So again, hopefully you'll add some runs, make it a little bit easier for the bullpen till you get to the 9th inning.
We saw Aroldis Chapman come in, the Cuban defectee, throwing on the 100 miles an hour as he came back off the DL yesterday. Dusty Baker would not want to use him if he doesn't have to, but he's got him out there if they could ever get the lead back, maybe. And here he is.
Well, it's funny. I did a little scouting report on you, and they told me up in Maine when you were playing youth baseball, you used to throw like this.
Yeah, left-handed. I guarantee you the gun didn't move to 3 digits. So Chapman will come on here. Baker was able to get him into a ball game after coming off the DL the other night, last night, in a situation with a big lead. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't want him to come in a pressure situation off rehab. Now, however, he gets a chance to use him, feeling confident he's all right.
Yeah, 99, 100, 101 last night. Mike Flanagan, of course, a former left-hander Cy Young Award winner, describing, really loads about as well as you can. Keeps that front shoulder tucked in. Some shoulder problems early on. They sent him to the minor leagues to change his mechanics. He said, I didn't change anything. I'm just back. And boy, was he ever back last night, because what a dynamic part of anybody's bullpen. Davey Johnson, when he was with the Orioles, last time the Orioles won in 1997, wire to wire, he said, I want that National League bullpen. In other words, guys that come out of the bullpen throwing some heat, and Chapman can do that.
Arredondo out of there after giving up a run on 1 hit in 1 inning work with a walk and a strikeout. The St. Louis Cardinals are next, a day off tomorrow, then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The Cardinals, a look as they come into today's play 1-4 since Albert Pujols has gone on the DL. You see the numbers for D. Lee against the Cardinals, big time. And the Cardinals, .349 on base percentage in interleague play, second best among the National League teams. They will be here for the start of the series on Tuesday. We'll have Zach Britton going against Kyle Loesch in the opener. Jake Arrieta and Chris Carpenter. Orioles have not announced the third game starter. Jake Westbrook will be on the mound game 3 for the Cardinals. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. And Chapman's pitch will miss inside for a ball. Chapman came on in the ball game last night, struck out Wieters, Reynolds, and Andino in the 9th inning to finish it off. 1-0 delivery, and that's going to be inside. And bear in mind, you're talking about a pitcher, no matter how hard he throws, who's trying to get back to his major league level after coming off the DL in the appearance last night, the first one since his return from the shoulder inflammation. Guerrero fouls it back, 2-1. Vladdy hitting a .283 on the season. Orioles looking to extend that 2-run lead they've got, and that'll be fouled away. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Chapman's one of those where everybody in the seats after every pitch looks up at the scoreboard to see what the radar gun is saying.
Yeah, as long as that changed. I remember when Armando Benitez used to hit 100, and of course he would be trying to deliver the ball to home plate and then look over his right shoulder to see what the radar gun, and
Phil Regan was the manager at the time. There's a big curveball, so
can't find it. Got to make the play. Hernandez will get it there.
And Joey Votto, again, the MVP for his bat, makes a nice play because he sneaks to the foul side of the field. Otherwise, you don't have any angle. Let's see if we can have a chance right here. Now the ball's going to come down, and Vladdy has a chance. Got to stay inside that box, which he does. So if you don't move to one side or the other and he moves to the appropriate side, that's a tough throw.
That will bring up the lead. He's had the big 3 RBI homer in this game, his 6th home run of the year. It came in the 4th inning. Lee now hitting at 243, and Chapman's pitch is in there for a strike. Derek's hitting 295 off left-handers and 222 off right-handers. However, the home runs, all but only one against a left-hander. That fastball will move him back a little bit. 99 miles an hour showed up on that one.
Yeah, I was watching him last night, and of course, when I came to the Orioles and back in the 60s, they had a guy, Steve Dalkowski, threw 100, 105. And I'm watching him saying, this is the way Dalkowski must have thrown. And Cal Ripken Sr. caught him coming up through the minor leagues before he became a manager. And he said his ball would rise so much if it did not start around the ankles. I don't mean the knees, the ankles. It was going to be out of the strike zone. And he had that kind of lift. But he wasn't 6'4" like Adoldis Chapman.
2-1, and that'll be a foul ball. Plus, if he aimed for the ocean, the chances were he wouldn't hit it.
No. He never failed to strike out less than 200, but he always walked more than he struck out. It gives you an idea of how. And then, of course, he had the Ryan Duran glasses, you know, those big Coke bottle glasses that made you think that he had no idea who you were, where you were, and where the strike zone was.
And generally proved it.
Yes, he did.
Yes. Here's the 2-2 delivery. And he blew it by him. Let's see what that one goes at. Looking at the radar gun, and the answer is 100 miles an hour.
It's like winning the lottery with this kind of arm.
So after coming off the DL, you strike out the first 5 batters faced.
And it's not like it's straight. It's not like it's just staying at 100. What did Lee Mazzoni used to say? You can time a jet plane if it doesn't move. But when you have movement. And again, I think the deception, 6'4", all that coil.
He is one exciting performer, and boy, is he going to help this Reds team in their drive for a division championship if he stays healthy. Pitch will be taken down low. Luke Scott gets a shot at him. Scott hitting just 147 off the lefties. Does have 3 home runs, however. For a long time, the only hits he had off left-handers were the first 2 homers off southpaws. He's had 5 hits and 34 at-bats against him, 3 of them home runs.
Yep.
That will gain your attention.
Well, the notes, you know, the press guy talks about when he did come up last year. Now, he didn't have that many innings, only 15 games, 13 in the 3rd innings. But he was throwing 105 miles per hour down in the minor leagues and then in San Diego. That's getting it up there.
And only 23 years old. 2-0 count. A 6-4 ball game. Orioles have the lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Popped it up, third base, Cairo. Again in those stands, and this one's going to be too far back. Don't forget, the voting's going to be ending soon for the All-Star game. We hope you'll cast your ballot for your choices. You can vote up to 25 times. Just go to Orioles.com and cast your ballot. But time is running out, so get there and do it. Buck Showalter was talking about having cast one of his 25 ballots last night after the game just to get his mind off the 10-5 loss. Yeah, somebody will be going from the O's, and there are many worthy.
Koji Uehara, we talked about it in between innings, most likely to come in to pitch the 8th.
2-1 delivery, hit in the air, deep to right center field. Goodbye, home run! He's done it again. Luke Scott, a homer off a lefty, his 4th against a left-hander, his 9th of the year.
Well, 27 of them last year. 8 against lefties, 10 the year before. And again, ball flying, tremendous strength. 3-1 fastball. They're hoping it's coming down. Orioles are hoping it keeps going, and it does.
First home run for him since June 12 against Tampa Bay. And a very important run, as they all are in this game. 7-4. The Orioles have the lead, and again, it's been the long ball. Third home run for the Orioles in this game. Reynolds, a solo shot by Scott, the 3 RBI homer by Lee. And Chapman gives up the long ball after getting 2 strikeouts. Mike Reynolds' home run, his 14th, came in the 4th inning, 1 for 3. Reynolds will take it for a strike. Mark hitting just 191 against left-handers, but he does have 4 home runs off lefties. Andino waiting in the on-deck circle to hit for Davis. If they get to that spot. 2 down. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Series for the long ball is what this one has turned into in this 3-game set. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's going to miss outside. Chapman will even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Oriole coming in 6th in the league in home runs. Unfortunately, on the other side of it, the 2nd most surrendered by their pitching staff. Only Texas has given up more. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Off the mask. That one hurt. Home plate umpire Alan Porter had the mask ripped right off.
You can see Craig Tatum turn right around to see if he's all right. Apparently he is.
And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Excuse me, Ramon Hernandez.
I told you during spring training, because of the concussion concerns, these umpires now are asked to set up all the same place, and it's on the inside part of the plate for whichever hitter's up, right or left-hander, in that gap between the catcher's shoulder and the hitter. That has been determined to be the place where the fewest foul balls come back and hit the umpire. And we've seen almost all umpires do that now, for their own sake, obviously, but even then you get one of those.
And that is what happened when the strike zone was real small, because they would get down on the one knee. Most of the umpires now actually out of the crouch. But again, you have to look across the plate. A little bit harder to see that outside corner when you do that.
3-2 delivery, and he walked it.
Especially when you're throwing 95 to 100.
Well, the Orioles keep it alive here in the 7th inning. A 2-out homer, now a 2-out walk. And Andino will come on as the pinch hitter for Davis.
Yeah, great numbers against left-handed pitching. He comes in at .325, only 184 against righties, and a little bit more experience than Blake Davis with the 3-run lead playing second base. So good chance to get him some at-bats.
Blake Davis, good job at the plate today. He had 2 singles and a walk. Scored 2 runs. Had a stolen base. 2 down. Chapman with an awkward throw over to first. Robert Andino will try and keep this going. The Orioles 7 runs and 11 hits. The Reds 4 runs, 8 hits. Reds have left 11 on in this game. Runner goes, and he picked off. Votto's throw is there, and they will get the out. Tag put on by Yanish, so Reynolds is retired. The Orioles will, however, pick up the run on the home run by Scott, and it is 7-4.
afternoon. 1-0. Three-run home run by Derek Lee makes it 4-0. Mark Reynolds right behind him, and a bomb to deep left center field into the Reds bullpen. Orioles at that time have a 5-0 lead. Jim Johnson comes in after Rapata bases loaded walk, and the Reds make it 5-4. Add another run the Orioles do in the 7th inning, and then Luke Scott, they're actually making the 6th inning, Luke Scott with one of the 3 home runs. So big series for Lee. Mark Reynolds with a home run, and again home run derby throughout this series. Not over yet.
Koji O'Hara will come on to do the pitching now and try and keep this 3-run lead.
So again, he pitched on Friday night. The Orioles bullpen doing a terrific job again as they won in 12 innings. Koji coming on, fastball splitter. He makes you earn your way on. Only 6 walks now.
Orioles will make defensive changes. SPA will come into the game for Scott in left. And Dino will stay in the game at second base for Davis. Joey Votto leading it off on a swing and a miss. Votto has had 3 walks in this ball game, and he has struck out. So Votto in this 3-game set, 4 for 11 with a couple of home runs, 6 RBIs. Sends that one the other way, and that will be a foul ball.
It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea after you drive in 5 as he did last night, and then another one on Friday. Came in with 6 RBIs. The only problem with pitching around him is that you get your pitch count up.
And you give a chance for a 2 RBI homer.
That is true.
The way this thing's gone, this series. It's taken inside, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Koji has become, along with Jim Johnson, the so-called A part of the bullpen. A ground ball off the end of the bat to Andino at second base, and the play made to get the out.
Yeah, nice little splitter to get him a roll over it. Go back to Friday night. He goes 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. And again, the splitter. Got to use all your pitches. He can go out of the strike zone. Again, when he started, he could make some pitches with the best of them. Much more comfortable in this role, though.
Andy McPhail telling us last night, #1 priority to get the B part of the bullpen up to the A part, which may mean some personnel changes. Johnson and O'Hara certainly considered the A part of the pen, and Andy said we've got to get the others in that bullpen to be close to where they are. Here's Johnny Gomes, the 0-1 delivery, a swing on a miss. Gomes, he's had a couple of walks, an RBI, one of them with a bases loaded walk. Reached on an error and struck out. Koji O'Hara had a couple of games when he came back to pitch where he actually walked a couple of people, but that was that. Since then, it's been in the strike zone.
Well, he really trusts his stuff. Now, he will get hurt, with a solo home run, as he has on, I think, 4 occasions. But he does pitch up, and maybe the league making a little bit of an adjustment.
1-2 delivery.
But that's the pitch he used a lot when he started. Had a slider, very rarely ever throws it that coming out of the bullpen. But again, a closer in Japan. I mean, he knows how to pitch, and he's not afraid to throw the ball over the plate.
A couple of quick outs. Here's Fred Lewis. Lewis, he too with the bases loaded walk. 0 for 3 officially.
He's a little bit like Mariano Rivera in the sense he really gets you into the swing mode. If you walk up to the plate, whether you're Fred Lewis or Gomes or Votto, if you have any kind of idea of the scouting report that says he's going to throw you strikes, try to hit him is another whole story.
And you'll get that one in for a strike. Koji now 36 years old. He turned 36 right at the beginning of the season. 1-1 delivery to Lewis. That'll miss down low, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. He had a 2.86 ERA last year for the Orioles. There is Cordero in the bullpen for the Reds. 2 down, nobody on. The 2-1 delivery, and foul back 2-2. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Derek Lee, big 3 RBI bomb in this one. Brandon Phillips, he's had a home run, a single, couple of runs scored. And Nick Markakis in the game. He's had a 2 RBI, 3-hit day. 2-2 delivery. That'll get away. Text any vote A, B, or C to 51862. (3-2) on Lewis. Only Koji's 3rd year with the Orioles. Seems longer than that with all we've seen him. He will surrender the walk here. So Lewis is on. Keeps the inning alive in the 8th. And that'll bring up Stubbs. A single in 4 times up. 3 hits and 14 at-bats in the series for Drew Stubbs.
And another one of their #1 draft choices in the big leagues. Out of the University of Texas.
2 down here, inside out pop up. Lee has got it. Koji takes care of it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. Bottom of the 8th coming. Can the Orioles hang on and win this series? They're up by 3. Your Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield is contributing $50 to the Living Classrooms Foundation. To date, 230 walks, $11,500. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Koji Uehara, opponents hitting only 169 against him. That's the best opponent batting average in the bullpen. Always emotional when he gets back in the dugout, and usually on the mound, very effective.
And Buck Showalter stops. Where are you going? Might need you for the 9th. You know that's not going to happen. Their closer comes on. Francisco Cordero, boy, has he been good. Not only this year, 15 out of 17, 34, 39, 40, 305 lifetime saves. Over 100 in each of the American League and now the National League. So look at those numbers. 18 hits, 31 innings pitched.
So the pitchers of record are still the starters. Homer Bailey, 5 runs, 9 hits over 5. Arredondo, an inning, had 1s across, 1 of everything. Hit, strikeout, walk, runs. Chapman, he gave up the home run to Luke Scott. And now Cordero on. Jeremy Guthrie, a chance to win his 3rd. 5 2/3 innings, 4 runs on 6 hits. Rapata came on, no part of an inning with a walk. Johnson, an inning and a 1/3, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout. And Koji Uehara. Andino puts it way up in the air in shallow left center. Everybody's going to get there. And Stubbs will make the catch. Andino retired in his first at bat. And our Hyundai Game Flow brought to you by Hyundai. It's time to join the movement. It's been about hanging in there. A last man standing final game in this 3-game set. It's the Orioles who've been able to do that. They had a 5-0 lead, and then The Reds got it back to 5-4. The Orioles adding a couple of important runs, 6th and 7th innings. He got it back up to a 3-run difference. Here's Tatum. He will take it for his strike. Wieters gets the advantage of a day off tomorrow with a day off today, a couple days rest.
Say what, 19 hits, 11 runs, and a lot of times it just comes down to a pop-up. They don't catch the pop-up. Derek Lee with a 3-run home run. Really the only glaring, horrendous pitch that Homer Bailey just tried to come in on Derek. He was waiting. And all of a sudden it's 1-0 game is 4-0.
Orioles 3 outs away from taking 2 out of 3. Here's the 0-2 delivered to Tatum, and that will be outside. Tatum a good job today. A walk, a strikeout, a big sacrifice, an important one that came in the 6th inning when Davis had reached on a walk. Tatum got the sacrifice down, moved him up. A wild pitch would move Davis over, and then he scored. Shortstop Giannis, nice play.
Well, now you see why they don't care what he hits. I mean, what a play. Range, again, acrobatic ability. I mean, watch how far he goes, and then somehow, and I mean somehow, gets his balance. And they always talk about quick feet, mobility. You don't practice this play on the money.
He didn't just get the throw there. He got it there with authority.
It was a bullet.
2 down. Cordero to J.J. Hardy. Hardy has had a very unusual day. He's popped the ball up around the infield. 2 to second, 1 to first, and 1 to third. They've been high pop-ups in all 4 of the at-bats he's had. He'll take the Cordero pitch inside, 2-0.
An equal opportunity popper-upper.
That's just, they've all been the same.
Maybe he went to see the Jim Carrey movie.
Could be.
Mr. Popper's Penguins. No.
3-0.
I love pop-ups.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah, you know. God, I remember in A-ball, Mark Belanger hit .219. He was Rookie of the Year and up in Aberdeen. Cal Ripken Sr., the manager. Every pop-up, everybody would, his nickname was Blade. Blade, Belanger, didn't matter where it was. And we had good infielders. Pop-ups are great. Not a lot can happen. Well, unless your name is Homer Bailey.
Yeah. Then they can fall in for hits. 3-1 delivery, and he laces that one, but it is going to be a foul ball way out in front of it.
There is J.J. Hardy's June right there. Doesn't get cheated.
Copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. 3-2 delivery. Hardy takes it and he's on with the walk. Cordero surrenders the free pass. Orioles have had 5 walks today. Nick Markakis, a big day. RBI single in the 3rd inning, single in the 5th inning, RBI base hit in the 6th. 16-game hit streak for Nick, and pumps the average up to 277.
And he did it twice. 2 of those hits with 2 outs. I mean, huge RBIs. What did you say? What, 5 for 37 with runners in scoring position the last 4 games?
Yep.
Well, that's how you start putting runs on the board.
So Nick going after a 4-hit ball game. He's had just 1 on the year. Right now he's got his 8th 3-hit game of the year. Hardy goes back. Reds are going to be going on to stay in the East. They face Tampa Bay. There is Kevin Gregg getting ready to come on to try and finish this up. Reds do not get the day off. They go right back into it at the Trop tomorrow night. Markakis played him over that way. Giannis has got it. He'll go to the bag, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. 3 more outs, and the Orioles win the series. Hernandez, Cairo, and Giannis do up. Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer here as the Orioles look to wrap it up on this summer afternoon. And Greg is on to try and do it.
Yeah, he has been really pitching well. So Captain Chaos kind of losing that nickname. Hasn't been exciting enough. Three-run lead. You can see 13 out of 17. His stuff has really been crisp. It just seems like he's much more confident. Mike Flanagan talked about it on Friday night. He still will not give in. I mean, it's going to be, I don't know what, the 3-run lead, but he's going to try to make the perfect pitch.
It will be the bottom third of the order. Ramon Hernandez will lead it off. And Ramon Hernandez will get one of the runs back. Goodbye, home run, first pitch. It is 7-5.
Well, you talked about the extra runs, the add-on runs. So again, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Little cutter right in the middle of the plate. You're looking fastball. The scouting report says can throw 92 to 94. And you increase the bat speed. He doesn't even hesitate. It just ends up right in the middle of the plate. Boom. That's the kind of ballpark Camden Yards has come as the weather is heated up.
8th home run, 19th RBI. Hernandez gets it. His 6th home run lifetime against his former team. There's one that the Reds needed. Down to third and foul off the bat of Miguel Cairo. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game so far. You can cast your vote, A, B, or C, at 51862. The results in the O's Extra post-game show. Pitch is going to be outside for a ball. And Kevin Gregg immediately greeted with a long ball. The 4th he has surrendered in the 29 innings pitch. 1-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, and what it does, it sets up the fact that all they have to do is get a base runner. Time run will come to the plate.
And you're going to turn the order over.
Yep. And again, this whole game at one point was 5-0. So the Reds like their plate here.
Check swing ground ball. Lee's going to get it. And there's a break for the Orioles.
Well, again, there's no prevent defense with Kevin Gregg. It's going to be, I'm not going to give in. So again, sometimes they will hit home runs, and that's a 2-1 slider and a really good one. So good, you get the check swing. And you know that's the last thing that Miguel Cairo wanted to do. He just got fooled.
Scott Rowland is going to be the pinch hitter. Rowland 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year, including a pinch hit home run. He's batting for Giannis, who had an 0 for 4. This is the number 9 hitter, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Rowland 1 for 3 off Gregg. Scott Rowland hitting at .266 on the year. 0-1 delivery to him, and that one will miss. Rowland had a couple of hits in the opener as he went 2 for 6, and then last night delivered a home run, 2 RBI shot in the 7th inning, his 4th of the year, 1 of 2 hits in the ball game. 1-1 delivery, just missed. Porter's arms twitched a little bit, but did not go up.
I'll take a look, and just off the corner enough.
2 ball, 1 strike count on Rowland. Ground ball to short. Hardy over to get it. Makes the scoop.
Nice range. Nice everything. You need outs, and this is going to be one of them. You get the ground ball. You could see. And again, there's your little gather my balance, the rhythm. Just about all players have. Get your feet underneath you in the perfect throw.
So 1 out away of the Orioles. Another ball game that's been decided by home runs. The Reds have 2. Phillips and Hernandez. The Orioles have 3. 3 RBI homer by Lee, and the solo shots. That's going to be in there for a strike. Reynolds delivering a solo home run in that 4th inning, and then Luke Scott with the home run in the 7th. Heisey fouls it off, and it's a 2-strike count.
And now Mark Reynolds, because Chris Heisey tried to fake a bunt earlier on, he'll move back behind third base. He was well in. And that's what the bunt does. So a young hitter, veteran pitcher in a count where you don't need to throw a strike.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. Heisey.
And he does. He got away with that one.
You do not want to go any further. You've got Phillips and Votto next in the lineup, both with power.
Yeah, Phillips already with a home run. Votto with 2 last night.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. And it will miss outside. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Koji O'Hara, good inning of work. He gave up a walk, strikeout. And Kevin Gray coming on to finish. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Orioles, if they can hang on here, will even up the all-time series against the Reds in regular season play at 3 games apiece. More importantly, Orioles would win this series. 2-2 delivery outside. 3-2. Hang on.
Yep. Well, Chris Heisey's had some nice at bats. Again, Dusty Baker said young player, try to match up. You know, the first 3 times made outs. Then he dumped a single for an RBI into right field. Got to hit his next time, and he's laid off the close pitch after falling behind. That's exactly what you want from somebody in his mid-20s.
After his 14th save, 3-2 in the air. Coming over is PA, and this ball game is over, and the Orioles have won it. So the Orioles get the victory. The home run by Hernandez not enough. A 7-5 win gives the Orioles 2 out of 3 against the Reds and their 35th win of the year.